Yes, certainly. Hold on a second. Yes, sir. All right, so I don't know, we have 10 minutes. For Mr. Garcia.
Judge, I apologize. He says he's logging on now.
Okay. And Mr. Dankos, in what court is the announcement going to be for the research?
It's your jail docket, Your Honor, at 406, and the name of the defendant is it's Richard Gonzalez's case. He asked me to stand in for him. And let me give you the case number. The case number is 2021 CRH 1469 Delta 4. That's Rodolfo Valverde Jr. And 2022 CRD.
Hold on.
It's on page 2, Your Honor.
Page 2. Is he okay? She's got 2 cases, right? We're just going to reset this, though, right?
That's what we're asking, Judge. He just got his offer yesterday. And Mr. Gonzalez was asking the court to please give him a little bit more time to go over it with his client. It is probably a time to serve case.
All right,
And there's 2 felonies.
we're going to set it for February 15th at 1 p.m. and that'll be with me.
February 15th at 1 p.m., Your Honor.
Both cases. So hold on, let me get this. So they don't bring it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is a jail. That was for Rodolfo Valverde, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Also, we do not need Victor Antonio Puente out of the 49th.
Antonio Puente. Okay, I have him.
Is it Mario Carlos Ramos from the 49th?
You'll be reset.
Yes, it's going to be reset.
Okay, I have Puente, Victor Antonio, and Ramos, Mario Carlos.
And there's a Rocha. Oh, yeah.
Francisca Rocha.
Also, don't bring her out.
Okay, got it.
And Jesus Andres Chapa also does not need to be brought out as well.
Okay, Jesus Andres Chapa. Got it.
All right, and I'm sorry, who did we have over at the Rio Grande Center? In what court? I lost it.
The 341st judge. Julio Garcia.
What page was he on?
Page 7, Judge.
Page 7, Your Honor.
Judge, I can be excused, right, on Richard Gonzalez?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Your
Dan.
Honor. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where's Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, Mr. Julio Garcia. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Your Honor, if I make an announcement, Your Honor, Edward Nolan.
First, give me the court and then the defendant's name.
341st is the district court. John Henry Romero is the name of the client.
And is there an agreed reset on this?
Yes, sir. I already spoken with Ms. De Hoyos, who's the prosecuting attorney on this case.
So I see that it was set for jury selection on the 6th. What are you asking for? A final?
Your Honor, I'm asking for another final pretrial. He has multiple cases. I'm trying to wrap those up so that we can have a package deal. I have been made an offer from Liz Royals as to this case. However, in the interest of judicial economy, Your Honor, and in the interest of my client, I would like to try to wrap up the case so that he doesn't have,
How much time do you need?
Judge, anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks, Your Honor, which is sufficient.
Let's do this. We'll set it on the 22nd of February at 9:30. That'll be with Judge Hale.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is for John Henry Romero, correct?
Right, and he does not have to be brought out.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All
Your
right,
Honor, I also have a status judge out of the 49th, Daniel Valdez. He's actually in a facility out of San Diego, Texas.
Yep, yeah, actually, we're waiting for Mr. Thompson on that.
Okay, I'll be on standby, Your Honor.
Mr. Thompson's there.
Mr. Thompson, I think we need a writ to bring him here to Webb County. Or,
Yes, Your Honor.
because we need to serve him with an MTR. So that we could do that and send the sheriffs over there.
Mr. Thompson, because the judge did say on Friday that he wanted him here. So I don't know, we were asking, how do you go about it to get him here? Since the facility no longer wants him there.
Right. We'll request a bench warrant. Again,
Okay.
What day should we reset it for, Your Honor?
You tell me, how much time do you need to get all that in order?
I'll request the bench warrant today, perhaps 2 weeks.
We have the February 8th with Judge Lopez at 9:30.
No objections on my behalf, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nolan.
Thank
So-
you, Your Honor. That's what I have. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Nolan.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
What about Mr. Garcia? There he is, Mr. Garcia. Julio Garcia.
Hey, Judge, sorry about that. I was actually heading over to the court because I had court this afternoon. I didn't realize this was online. My bad. Mr. Zapata Tritus is in custody at Geo, Judge, and the former the prosecutor, assistant district attorney that had this case beforehand, I think is no longer handling this case. I'm not sure if it's going to be Mr. Thompson. Actually, I think it's Mr. Vigil.
Yes, he's on, and so is your client, Mr. Zapata Chavez.
He was just sentenced, Judge, last week. I have not had an opportunity to talk to Mr. Vigil about this case. I will tell him that the prior prosecutor was waiting to determine the sentence on the federal case. I'd like to work with Mr. Vigil to see if we can work out some type of agreement to take care of the pending state matters, because he's in the process of being shipped out to a facility, Judge. And I don't know, at that point in time, there probably will not, this court will probably not have the opportunity to send a writ out wherever he goes. As you well know, it's he's going to be sent to Three Rivers, Judge, and I don't know how quickly that's going to happen.
Well, we've got a setting on the 24th.
I don't know how quickly they're going to send him out, Judge. Again, I'd like just to have that that opportunity to speak to Mr. Vigil so we can hopefully try to coordinate something. He's on the state side, Judge. He's here on a possession of controlled substance, I believe, and he was just sentenced for bringing in and harboring aliens, Judge, on the federal side.
He was informed us that he had 13 months. So
that's correct, Your Honor.
well, so I'm asking, when do you want me to reset you for? Because there's the 24th of this month and the 2nd of February.
And it has to be as soon as possible, Judge. I'm sure it's not going to be very difficult to call Mr. Vigil and see if we can work out something. I apologize to Mr. Vigil. I just now realized that he was the one appointed to the case, so it's my bad.
No worries, Mr. Garcia. And I have the previous ADA's notes. I'm willing to honor whatever agreement y'all had. I do see that. I don't know if the 6 days will be enough for them to execute the writ and bring him again, Your Honor, but I'll file it as soon as we're done with court. And
You want to try it? You want to try the 24th? and see
Let's
what
try it, Your Honor. I'll do it right now as soon as we're done the court pilot. And
If we can, Judge, I'd certainly appreciate it if we can get a quick turnaround and see
That's
if
the
Mr.
quickest
Vigil
we
and I.
have. That's the quickest we have, February 24th, but you were just running up against the writ being executed.
Yeah. No, I
Okay.
understand, Judge, and I apologize to the court and to Mr. Vigil.
no, no worries.
January
What time is
January 24th, Judge, you said February.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. January 24th at 9 a.m. Mr. Zapata, did you get all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Anything further then?
Not on Mr. Chairman Zapata, Your Honor. Or
No, Your Honor. Stay rest.
On Mr.
Me and
Zapata
Garcia will
Chavez.
speak afterwards.
Okay. Good luck, Mr. Zapata, and thank you both. You're both excused.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I do have one other, Mr. Richard Gonzalez had contacted me to see if I could,
Mr. Dankos stood in for him.
for Mr. Tijerina.
Oh, no, no.
No, it's, there's one other matter that I represented on the federal side, Judge. He's in Webb County Jail. His name is Christopher Tijerina.
What
And
court?
That's at 341st, Your Honor. He's on page 4.
Mr. Gonzalez reached out to me earlier this morning, Judge, if I could stand in for him, Judge. And I was on my way to the courthouse. I can remain logged on. I just wanted to advise the court that I did represent Mr. Tijerina on the federal side. And I don't know who the prosecutor is on that particular case, but I think it warrants the same type of announcement where the prosecutor and Mr. Gonzalez are trying to coordinate and work out something that Mr. Tijerina was sentenced to 53 months in federal custody. And I don't know if the prosecutor is aware of that. So I'm going to stand in for Mr. Gonzalez whenever he comes around. I guess.
Okay, I mean, you're still free to go to the 406. We were going to try to do it there, but they were out. So I just initiated here in chambers so we could get going.
Okay,
So,
Judge. I'm on my way to the courthouse, Judge. I guess I'll stay on until if they do bring Mr. Tijerina. I just wanted to let you know I'm going to be standing in for Mr. Gonzalez.
okay, so you can either go to the 406 and if Marcos, you all are set up, right, for live people there in the 406?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Okay, so yeah. Worst
Okay,
case
Judge.
scenario, you can come into chambers, I guess.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it. I'll stand by.
All right, thank you. All right,
Your
let's,
Honor, for Christopher Tijerina, we do not have a writ for him since he's federal, so he's not here with us.
so there you go, Mr. Garcia.
I'm sorry. The announcement was they didn't have a writ, so he's not there.
No, they're not gonna bring him out.
Okay.
I'm the prosecutor on this case. We were awaiting the results of the federal sentencing. So if I can get a copy of that judgment, we can go from there. If we can just get another date, we'll either resolve it or I can file a writ.
Why don't I set it in 30 days?
That'll be fine.
Well, Judge, do you think that is the 24th too fast, Ms. Rubio?
We usually need at least 30 days. I don't want to set it and
Well,
then,
since if he's at Webb County, is it necessary to I guess you still have to do the writ, right?
yes, we do.
I can provide you with a judgment, Ms. Rubio. It's going to be the same thing. Mr. Gonzalez would get it from me anyway. So it's actually 2 cases that he was sentenced, and it's a partial concurrence. And I'll send that document to you so you can have it and I guess just discuss anything with Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I'm sorry. What was the date, Judge? So I could provide it to
February
Mr.
15th.
Gonzalez.
1
February
p.m.
15th at 1. I'll go ahead and let Mr. Gonzalez know.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, I think that takes care of the announcements. So who do we have at the green room over there at the jail?
He's making his way over here. Can you see your name?
Hernandez Javier Jr.
We have Hernandez Javier Jr. I'm not sure what docket he's on. Oop.
He's on the 341st docket on page 3, Your Honor. Javier Hernandez Jr.
The court calls 20 CRH 1731D3, the state of Texas versus Javier Hernandez Jr.
John, if I may,
Yes,
I just received the plea packet. They're gonna take it to you. You'll
okay.
get it right now.
Mr. Hernandez, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Hernandez, Juan Hernandez is your client?
Yes, Your Honor, he's my client. Ms. Rubio, Margaret Rubio is the assistant DA.
So, Mr. Hernandez, your attorneys informed me that you have an agreement with the state. Is that your understanding?
That's clear. I understand.
Okay. So first thing I have to do is ask you to be sworn in. So can you raise your right hand so the clerk can swear you in?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Mr. Hernandez, you're here with your attorney, Juan Hernandez. Have you had enough time to talk to him about your case and ask him questions about what is going to happen here today?
Yes, I did.
And your true and correct name is Javier Hernandez?
Sorry, what was that?
Your true and correct name is Javier Hernandez?
Javier Hernandez Jr.
Have you been satisfied with the services Mr. Hernandez has provided?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything that you need to tell me that prevents you from understanding what we're doing here today?
No, I have everything clear, sir.
And Mr. Hernandez, is your client competent to go forward with trial today?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Javier Hernandez, I have in front of me the plea package that it looks like you signed. Did your attorney go over this package with you before you signed it?
Completely.
In here, you're telling me that you're giving up certain rights, and I'm going to go over a few of those before we go forward with your plea. And the first right that you're giving up is the right to remain silent. You do not have to plead guilty today. You have a right to have the jury hear your case and the jury assess your punishment. Do you understand that you're giving up that right?
I understand, sir.
Also, if there were witnesses and evidence that was going to be presented against you,
Analí Vargas. I saw her on Monday en el game de mi niño. Es mi prima.
Ms. Armando, yes. Again, let me repeat that. If there were witnesses and evidence that were going to be presented against you, you're giving up the right to confront those witnesses and evidence at trial. Do you understand that?
That as well.
Okay. Also, if I go along with this agreement and I approve it, and I give you the punishment that you've agreed to along those lines, do you understand that you cannot complain about that punishment to a higher court unless you get special permission from this court?
I understand, sir.
I also have to ask everyone this question. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am, sir.
I understand that you're telling me that you are a U.S. citizen, but again, I have to tell everyone that if you are not a U.S. citizen and you plead guilty, you could be subject to deportation, denied the right of re-entry into the United States, and they're denied the right to become a U.S. citizen. Do you understand that? Do you understand that, Mr.
I do.
Also, I have to warn you about the maximum punishment a person could get if found guilty for a second-degree felony in the state of Texas. The maximum punishment you could get is a term from 2 to 20 years in a state prison and a fine not to exceed $10,000. Did your attorney explain that to you? Can you repeat your answer again?
Yes, he did.
And knowing all these things, do you still want to go forward with a plea today?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Juan Hernandez, does the defense waive formal reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, yes, we do.
Okay, Mr. Javier Hernandez, as to the charge, felony 2 robbery, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
So, Your Honor.
Yeah, we kind of missed that. Can you say it again?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
And aside from the agreement that you have with the district attorney's office, has anyone promised you anything else to plead guilty today? And are you pleading guilty today because you're accepting responsibility for the offense?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And again, we covered this earlier. You went over the plea package and you signed it after your attorney explained that to you?
That is correct.
The state offering, State's Exhibit 1, is it 1 and 2?
Yes, Judge, you are.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, so State's Exhibits 1 and 2, if there's. So based on your testimony here today and the evidence before the court, Mr. Hernandez, I am going to find you guilty of the offense of robbery, felony 2. I find that your plea of guilty today was made freely and voluntarily. The court is also going to go along with the agreement and approve it. And your sentence will be as follows. You're going to be sentenced to serve 5 years in a state prison. It will be probated for 5 years. You will be required to complete both tracks of the ISF program, 200 hours of community service, with the requirement that you do 10 hours per month. You'll also be required to take the anti-theft class, and the court also makes a finding that there was no
aggravation, Judge.
No aggravation. I had a trouble with your handwriting there. All right, so the court does make that finding that there is no aggravation. And do we have there's a pending case. Do we have a case number on that? The court, is the state agreeing not to proceed on a pending case?
Yes, Judge, that's correct.
Do we have a cause number on that one?
I can find it.
I don't know that it's been filed, but
Judge, it's a new arrest for an evading arrest detention, and we do not have the police report yet, but I have made a note in the file to not proceed with the case. The date of offense is 10/12/22.
All right, what I went ahead and added to the package was that on the pending case, i.e. evading arrest, with a DO of 10/12/22.
Wait, I'll close the door.
Do we have any court costs or anything?
Yes, Your Honor. Court costs are $435 and a $500 attorney fee.
The court will assess the court cost of $435, and I'm going to waive the attorney's fees for Mr. Hernandez. And Mr. Hernandez, you're probably going to, I don't know how soon they're going to get this filed, but you're probably, do you have any other charges pending?
I got it. No, sir.
Okay, so you probably won't be released till tomorrow morning. I'm going to order that you report to probation as soon as you get out. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Who's here for probation?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Alexis Cordova for the Probation Department. Your Honor, Mr. Hernandez is being sent to ISF, both tracks. Custody, Your Honor.
No, that's right. That's right.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you'll have to wait for a bed. That's
Yes, Your Honor. We can just get a contact number for Mr. Hernandez, and then I'll be visiting him today, if not tomorrow, to process his probation.
okay. Yes, sorry about that, Mr. Hernandez.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, so anything, is there a phone number you can give probation? So they can contact you?
I have my father's phone number available, 956-333-4224. If they don't answer there, I have my brother's number, 956. His name is Josue Hernandez, 704-8999.
Thank you.
All right, anything further?
Not from the defendant, Judge.
All right, thank you, Mr. Juan Hernandez and Ms. Rubio, and good luck, Mr. Javier Hernandez.
Okay, have a good one, Judge.
You too.
Your Honor, next up we have Alejandra Salinas, 341st.
On the same page, Your Honor.
The court calls 2020 CRH 1837D3, the state of Texas versus Alejandra Salinas.
Good
She's
afternoon,
also
Your
on
Honor.
page 5,
Gabriel
Judge.
Antonio on behalf of Alejandra Salinas. She has 2 cases at the 341st, Your Honor.
Court also calls 2021 CRB 1307D3, state of Texas, Alejandra Salinas.
Your Honor, we're here for a final pretrial. At this time, we're currently still pending some discovery. Particularly, the item of discovery that we are expecting is requesting is the medical examiner's report, Your Honor.
What kind of a timetable are we looking on that? Like 2 weeks, 30 days? Do we know?
Your Honor, I'm not sure what the state anticipates.
And once you get the autopsy, are you going to require additional time?
Yes, Your Honor. Once we have the autopsy, just because we will likely have to review it to see if we need an expert of our own, Your Honor. This matter is going to trial.
Okay, so let's do this. And we'll set it with Judge Palomo on March 2nd for a final pretrial. And then she can decide what kind of a jury setting she'll give you.
Okay, Your Honor. Thank you.
March 2nd at 8:30 in the morning.
Understood.
Next, Your Honor, we have Jose Angel Trujillo, 341st.
Page 8, Judge. 8.
The court calls 2022 CRD 682D3, the state of Texas versus Jose Angel Trujillo.
Yes, Your Honor. Gabriel Antonio on behalf of Mr. Trujillo. Your Honor, on this, we're here for a final pretrial. I currently conveyed a counter offer to the state. At this time, Your Honor, we would like to request 2 things. First, my client has been in custody for 259 days on these charges since the date of his arrest. We are requesting a bond reduction, Your Honor, for counts 1 and 2, $5,000 through pretrial services, and counts 3, $1,000 through pretrial services, Your Honor.
Is he looking at a time to serve offer right now or what?
Your Honor, right now what the state has conveyed is a probation offer. I did file a motion for a PR bond. It was denied by Judge Palomo, which is why I'm requesting a bond for pretrial services at this time. However, my client does have a federal hold, and we would, I would need to consider, I would need to also speak to his federal public defender. But at this time, the reason why we're requesting a bond reduction is just because he's been there for 259 days, Your Honor.
Well, you know, if he bonds out and well, would they then take him to federal? Like,
It is likely, Your Honor. It is likely that if he bonds out, they might take him. They will take him to federal.
What's the state's position on a bond reduction? What's his current bond status?
His current bond status, Your Honor, for counts 1 and 2 is $15,000 cash flow surety, and I believe $1,000 or $2,000 cash flow surety for count 3.
Is 15 and 15?
15 and 15, Your Honor.
And your request was 5, 5, and 1?
5, 5, and 1 through pretrial, Your Honor.
Judge, we're not opposed to that, as long as he's required to report to pretrial services.
Well, let's do this then. All right. The court is going to approve the bond request and set the bonds at 5, 5, and 1 through pretrial services. But Mr. Trujillo, you will be required to report every 2 weeks, okay?
Sir, but most likely I will be going to the federals. So how will I be reporting?
Well, that's if you get out, okay? So obviously if you don't get out, you won't be able to report, but they'll know that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So if you do get out, okay, this is part of the deal. I'm ordering you to report immediately to pretrial services, okay?
Yes, of course.
That way you can let them know that you're out, so.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, get out, stay in contact with Mr. Nieto, because you're gonna get it. Well, do we need to set him on the regular docket?
Your Honor, if I may, he is still unsure that he will bond out, Your Honor. This is, I did speak with him regarding his family's financial ability to bond him out. But we have been, there has been some back and forth with the state as to a possible plea bargain, Your Honor. We may have a reset for 2 weeks, Your Honor, in the in custody docket. If he does bond out, I'll reach out to the court and we'll request a different date.
Well, the fees are $33 based on the bond that I've approved.
$230?
33. 33.
$33.
$33. They
So
should
he is
be.
likely then to be transferred to federal custody.
Your Honor, if I may, it's actually 330. If you reduce the count 1 to 5,000, count 2 to 5,000, count 3 to 1,000.
It's 11,000. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Yeah, I did 1,100. Forgot a 0. Yeah, it's 333, 330. I'm sorry. Thank you, Valerie. All right. Well, so we can set it for the 2nd of February, Mr. Nieto.
That works, Your Honor. And if there's any changes or if we have a plea agreement, we'll notify the court or we'll enter into the plea agreement then, Your Honor.
Yeah, and we're going to set it for the in custody, but there's usually no reason why he can't come in, and we'll do it live.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Understood.
Raquel, do you know whether I'm covering that docket?
March 2nd is Judge Palomo, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, yeah, I know, but sometimes I
Is that February 2nd or March 2nd, Your Honor?
February.
February 2nd.
Oh, February 2nd is Judge Palomo.
Right. That's why I'm setting it. It's her case.
What time?
At 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
if I could just request the phone number, Judge, and the name of the bond.
Is there a phone number where they can reach your family, Mr. Trujillo?
6-471-2217. 2217. It's my wife.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, anything further then? No.
Nothing further, no defense.
Thank you, your excuse.
Next, Your Honor, we have Lucio Gonzalez, 406.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. He also has a page on page 9, 8 and 9, Judge.
89, correct.
Yeah. The first one is DV, and the second one, I believe, is Paul's case. It's an MTR arraignment.
Let me call two cases. The court calls 2022 CRD 1283D4 and 2014 CRE 1195D4 in the state of Texas. Lucio Enrique Gonzalez. Good afternoon, Mr. Gonzalez.
Buenas tardes.
Buenas
Good.
tardes. So, all right, let's take care of the regular arraignment first. Who's our interpreter?
Hello, Judge. This is Rosario. I'll be interpreter for today.
All right, let me see. Señor González, ¿necesita un intérprete?
No, sí entiendo.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm sorry if I may.
Yes.
Before we proceed with the arraignment, his officer wanted me to let you all know, to stay in court that his conditions on the MTR have been amended and they're pending judge's signature, just so the court's aware.
All right. We'll get to that in a sec.
Oh, can I get a copy, right?
So, Mr. Gonzalez, you're here on your first appearance on the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge and also unlawful restraint and assault. And I'm going to ask your attorney if he has an announcement for you on those charges.
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Jonathan Garcia was appointed to this case by Judge Lopez.
He's on there. Mr. Garcia, Jonathan. Mr. Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, we just called your client's case, the regular arraignment.
Oh, yes. For him, he'll be pleading not guilty, waiving the reading of the indictment and requesting the pretrial scheduling order given by the court, and I guess if it can, the next court date, as to the motion to revoke as well.
Well,
Yeah.
they just announced that they're going to amend the violated conditions, but it's pending signature by the judge. So that one's going to have to be reset.
Very well. Yeah, if it can be reset for the next court date in conjunction with a new case that has just been filed.
Mr. Perez, are you there? What date do we have for?
Yes, for the arraignment, Your Honor, it's going to be March 1st at 2 p.m.
No, well,
Judge, are we gonna arraign him for the regular arraignment on page 8? Or are we gonna reset the arraignment as well?
no, he just made the announcement.
Okay.
So for that case, Your Honor, informal for March 1st at 2 p.m.
Thank you.
March 1st, 2 p.m. Okay, and then we have to reset the MTR arraignment. Mr. Perez. Is that
Yes,
going to
Your Honor. I believe they made an announcement about some amended conditions. There's nothing e-filed yet, Your Honor.
I know that, and that's why I'm saying, but the March 1st setting, but that is the defendant required to be at the, what did you set it for, informal?
Informal, yes, because he was arraigned.
I know, but is he going to be present at the informal at one?
If he's in custody, Your Honor, I believe the attorney and the state can be present in the courtroom and exchange evidence and offer, and then from there, I believe Mr. Garcia can visit with his client.
Well, so let's set the MTR arraignment for that same date then. and same time. Does that make sense?
It does, Judge. March 1st?
March 1st, at what time did you say, Mr. Pettis?
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So both cases, that way they can run at the same time. And
Yes, Your Honor.
okay, anything further for Mr. Gonzalez?
Not from the state.
No, Your Honor, not this time.
All right. Good luck, Mr. Gonzalez. We'll see you on the 1st.
People, Adrian Guzman, 406.
That's page 5, Your Honor.
Got it. The court calls 2022 CRI 1265 D4, 2022 CRI 1266 D4, and 2022 CRK 1267 D4, the state of Texas versus Abel Adrian Guzman. Good afternoon, Mr. Guzman. Can you hear us okay, Mr. Guzman?
Yes, sir.
And who's here for the defense?
I believe Omar Salinas for the Public Defender's Office. I think we were appointed, Your Honor.
Okay, and it looks like we're here for arraignment on all 3 cases.
Yes, Your Honor. He also has a case on the 49th, I think.
Well, let's take care of these 3 and then we'll see if he has one in the 49. But do you have an announcement for your client regarding the charges on the 3 cases?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, Mr. Guzman pleads not guilty for all 3 cases. We waive the reading of the indictment for all 3 cases, and we request our next court date for the 3 cases.
Informal set for March 1st at 2 p.m. Your Honor.
On all 3 cases. All right, let's check and see if he's in the 49th as well.
And Your
What's
Honor,
his
Abel Adrian Guzman.
Yeah,
Yes, he's on
okay,
page 3, Judge.
I got
Your
it.
Honor, can I address one more thing on the 406 case, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
There is an agreement for a bond to be set on all 3 cases, Your Honor. We're in agreement for a $10,000 bond for the 2 felony 2
Wait,
counts.
hold on, I lost the page. What pages were they on?
Page 5 and 6, Your Honor, on the 406.
Oh, 406. That's why I lost them. Okay, so let's start with the one ending in 265 D4. What's the agreed bond?
It's a $10,000 bond through pretrial services with the conditions of reporting twice a month and random drug testing, Your Honor.
Okay, hold on, Guzman. All right, and the one ending in 266 D4?
It's the same announcement, Your Honor, 10,000 with the reporting twice a month and the random drug testing.
And what about the third one, which is?
The third one's a state jail, Your Honor, and that's $5,000 with the same conditions.
5K with same conditions.
So a total of 25,000, Your Honor.
All right, is there a phone number, Mr. Guzman, where they can reach out to your family? Mr. Guzman?
Sir, it's 956-999-3387.
999?
3387.
And Your Honor, just to inform the court, I do plan on filing a motion to transfer these 3 cases to the 49th, since the older case is in the 49th, Your Honor.
All right, let me call that case and see what's going on with that one. The court calls 2022 CRO 371D1, the state of Texas versus Abel Adrian Guzman.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ms. Vargas for Mr. Guzman.
Okay, and so we're here for motion settings, anything?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, it's just going to incorporate Mr. Salinas's announcement. We are going to wait for the cases to transfer. I'm going to need to confer with Mr. Thompson and then Mr. Joe Rodriguez to see if we can get an offer to try to wrap up his cases. He does have a bond on our case. I think it's a total of $6,000. So just a matter of waiting for those cases and working on an offer for him.
Okay, so do you already have a date for your final pretrial, Alma? Do they have one already?
No, Judge.
How much time do you need to possibly prepare a plea, Ms. Vargas?
Probably a month.
So we have, let's see, well, it's a little bit more than a month. On March 8th with Judge Lopez.
Okay.
Your favorite is
I have no favorites that I would say out loud, Judge.
I don't know, you keep asking them for when I'm presiding, so I have wondering. All
So
right,
the 8th of March?
at 9:30 for
Okay.
final pretrial. And
For
if
a
you have-
final pretrial.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to ask the court for leave to urge motions at that time. I haven't urged motions because we're waiting for the others to transfer and get an offer and whatnot.
I'm sure Judge Lopez will take it into account.
Yes, thank you, Judge.
All right. Anything further?
Nothing further on this
All
case.
right. Did you get all that, Mr. Guzman?
Thank you.
All right, good luck. All right.
Judge, could I confirm his phone number?
And also, were the 3 bonds granted, Your Honor?
Yes.
Next, we have Pedro Manuel Rodriguez, 341st.
The court calls 2021 CRD 1309D3, the state of Texas versus Pedro Manuel Rodriguez. Good afternoon, Mr. Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right, so we're here for a status hearing.
Yes, Your Honor, this is my case. And yes, we're here on status for a bid for Mr. Rodriguez.
Yes, Judge Cassandra Rios for the state on this case. I was able to call the state hospital to see the status of the bed for this case, and they told me that he is number 741 for the bed, and that this is a normal waiting time of maybe a year, maybe a little bit more. After COVID, it's been a little bit harder for them to get a bed because of the charges he has. He will be sent to the North State Hospital.
So do we need to bring him back in about 2 months then for another status?
I would say at least 6 months, Judge, because I believe it is a year for him to get a bed.
Well, I don't know that I have dates that far out right now.
If we can get the farthest date, just to check up and see.
Yeah, let's set it for March 8th at 9:30 with Ms. Lopez. You holding up okay, Mr. Rodriguez?
Yes, sir. Hey, sir. Sir.
Yes, sir.
I want to get 2 trays. Estaba.
Hold on. Can you unmute him?
Let's go ahead.
I'm a veteran. I need to get 2 meals instead of 1. It's morning, noon, and night. Can we get that done?
They only feed you once a day?
Huh?
They only feed you once a day?
3 times a day, but I want 2 meals this time. Can we get that done?
Well, I can talk to the sheriff about it, but I understood that there were 3 meals. There's not?
Each time a breakfast, 2 trays of breakfast, 2 trays of lunch, 2 trays
Oh,
of dinner.
you want extra?
Yes.
I promise you this, I will talk to Captain Magana about it, but it may not happen every day, but we'll see if we can get you a little bit extra, okay?
Problem, even if it's a lunch bag, brown bag.
Okay. All right, Mr. Rodriguez, we'll be patient and we'll see you again soon, okay? And I'll be there this weekend and I will follow up on this, okay? E3. All right, Mr. Rodriguez. Oh, you took them already.
Oh, do you need a background?
No, I don't, no.
Next we have Daniel Alegría, the 341st.
Page 5, Judge.
There. Court calls 2021 CRB 13063, the state of Texas versus Daniel Alegría. Good afternoon, Mr. Alegría. Mr. Jonathan Garcia.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here present, Your Honor. As to Daniel Alegría, I filed a motion to reduce bond, a motion for speedy trial rights urging, and I also filed a writ of habeas corpus for excessive bail. We're still in the same situation, Your Honor, in the sense that I spoke with the state informing me that we don't have the autopsy reports yet, and so therefore my client has been in custody for close to or getting close to 2 years, and we're at this point that I don't know whether the court can entertain those motions and also the writ, so that the court be able to rule on those at the same time, and that way my client be able to get a bond that he can post and be able to continue with this case outside.
Well, I mean, I briefly reviewed it before today, Mr. Garcia. And I know he's currently set at 250 for a murder charge. That doesn't seem excessive. Well, let's address the easy ones first. And I will talk to you a little bit more about the bond setting here. You have a request that he be allowed to wear his personal clothing during trial?
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
You have a motion that he be allowed to wear his personal clothing during trial, is that?
Yes, I filed the standard motions that I guess we can, I'm sure I can meet with the state and they'll be in agreement. I guess the most important ones. Yeah, I mean, I filed a request for a witness list, expert witness list, notice of extraneous offenses, application for probation, if he were to be found guilty, that the jury consider that, as well as 404B request, and further urging discovery request, which are standard motions.
Well, look, as far as wearing his personal clothes, I don't see a problem with that one. And that the only two motions that were presented to me before today's hearings were the motion for reasonable bail and the motion for personal clothing. You know, that's available to him. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know why I did file more motions, Your Honor. If we look at the docket, the court will be able to see that I filed more motions than that. They were filed.
Your Honor, the state hasn't had an opportunity to review those motions either. Perhaps we could get a setting specifically for hearing on said motions.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's set it with me. And I do want to review the $250,000 bond he has right now. But, you know, Mr. Garcia, 30,000 PR bond. I think that's going to be tough, but I'll listen to whatever. Well, I want to take some time then to make that decision on that. I'm not going to deny it right now. So let's set it on my docket for the 15th of February. At 1 p.m.
Yes, and if the court can also, I guess, find a way to instruct the clerks, the district clerks to set the rate of habeas corpus that I filed today. That already has a cause number. Let me see.
Raquel, can you make sure that all these motions make it to my office before?
Yes, Your Honor.
At least the day before, so I can go over them. And that way I can make a determination on that. And I will consider doing some kind based on what I hear and everything else. Mr. Garcia, does that work?
Yes, Your Honor, so that Mr. Alegria can be aware that we're at this stage in which the most important thing that I'm sure he wants to know is being able to get a bond that is at an amount that he can post and be able to continue with this case, but not in custody anymore, as it's already been more than, we're getting close to 2 years, Your Honor.
And you said for sure this case for sure is going to trial.
I mean, we're at this point where I don't know what I don't know what else I can do for my client other than requesting a jury trial because of the fact that my client cannot remain in custody with the hopes that we may or may not get a medical examiner's report.
All right. Flipping through here. What was the page number that Mr. Alegria was on?
5, Judge.
So February 15th at 1 p.m. it is. And that'll give me a chance to pull up his Odyssey file and go through everything, and that way I can make. All right, anything further, Mr. Garcia?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Okay, good luck and see you here next month, Mr. Alegria.
Next, Your Honor, we have Luis Lauro Quiroz. That'll be for the 341st.
Can you repeat the name, please?
Lauro Quiroz.
Court calls 2019 CRM 1133 D3, the state of Texas versus Luis Lauro.
Good afternoon, Judge Joey Tejas for Mr. Quiroz.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tejas.
Your Honor, on this case, this is a motion to revoke. And I had discussed it previously with my client. The state's recommendation was 1 year to serve on the motion to revoke. My client has approximately 300 days. And based on that, I would ask the court, the motion, the conditions for revocation are conditions 2, 5, and 11. We are willing to plead true to one of them or all of them, whatever. For the sake of brevity, we can pick one, any one. And we would just ask the court to, it's a revocation on a Class A misdemeanor. We would just ask the court to sentence him to time served or whatever the court wants. He'll get credit for the time served. And so he would either be a short timer or he would be immediately released based on whatever good time credit he has there at the jail.
Mr. Vigil, this is your case?
Yes, Your Honor. As long as we can verify he does have the 300 days, which Mr. Theas is an office court saying that, I trust him. If that's the case, state is fine with moving forward to pleading true to all the conditions, as there's no condition 1. And we're willing to do the credit he has, considering it's a Class A, just to be done with it, Your Honor.
Your Honor, just so that I can announce them on the record. It's under booking number 2018-05618. He had 2 days credit. Booking number 2019-08598. He had 9 days credit. 2021-01230. That's a booking number, 218 days credit. And then on the most current one, which is the only charge he has, is 2022-07068. He has 67 days credit. So as of today, he has 286 days credit for time served for this offense, whether it be pre-plea or subsequent revocations from the probation office.
Yeah, I verified it myself right now, Your Honor. So that suffices to the state, Your Honor, that we want to proceed with an agreement right now.
Yeah, yeah, in other words, we'll have him, if that's what he wants to do, plead true, and then I'll do the sentencing now. So, Mr. Quiroz, you understand English and you're getting all this?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So let me ask you to raise your right hand and be sworn in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Is your true and correct name Luis Lauro Quiroz?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Quiroz, here with your attorney, Mr. Theas, has he explained to you what's going to happen here today and what the process?
Yes, sir.
We're here because the state had filed a motion to revoke your probation, indicating that you violated conditions 2, 5, and 11.
True.
Getting true? All right, so I'm going to accept your plea of truth and find that it was made voluntarily. And as for your punishment, the court is going to order that time served, and so that you can be released. So, well, let me first say that probation and sentence you to time served, so that you can be released. He doesn't need to report or anything out after that. He's done.
He's done, Judge. I would just ask him if he could check in with my office. That way we can get all his paperwork in order, and I'll talk to him whenever he gets out. If he gets out this afternoon, just to come in tomorrow sometime between 8:30 and 5:30.
Is it the same office or Corpus Christi?
On Corpus Christi, 702 Corpus.
All right.
Okay, but it's the same number, Lauro.
Yeah, and Mr. Quiroz, I'll ask you to be patient. They are doing the dispositions right now, but it may not get there today, but at the latest, you should be out tomorrow, okay?
If I may, Your Honor, just to confirm, it's 300 days to serve with credit for time served, right?
Well,
he has
official sentence.
We could do 275. I think Mr. Thea said 280, so we could do 275, a nice round number.
I was going to do, yeah, the court orders that he served 275 days, and that'll be the order.
With credit.
Thank you,
with
Judge.
credit for time served. Seems like we could have done this a lot sooner, but all right. All right, Mr. Quiroz, you'll be out soon. Stay out of trouble, okay?
Thank you, sir. You have a good day.
You too.
Your Honor, can I make an announcement on one other case?
Go ahead, Mr. Tejas. On which court first?
It is out of the 341st docket, page 10, Walter Chavarria. He also has a case in the 406, though.
Well, let's take care of the 341st. What's the announcement on this case?
On that one, Judge, we're going to ask for another pretrial. He is being held on other charges, but he has an immigration hold. I just got appointed on this case. I am still pending discovery from the DA's office. I would ask for 3 weeks, but the announcement was also if the court wanted in the 341st case, the public defender's office withdrew, but in the 406 case, I would ask the public defender's office take both or give them both to me. I really don't care. It's just that the public defender's office withdrew on the 341st. That's how I got that case.
Your Honor.
Yeah, go ahead, Valerie.
Judge, the public defender's office actually withdrew at the 406 as well. That's when Mr. Theus was appointed to the 341st as well. Would Your Honor like to appoint
Yeah.
Mr. Theus to this case?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get me an order appointing Mr. Tejas to both cases. And
Yes,
what-
Your Honor, I'm prepared.
And what we'll do is we'll set both cases, we'll call it here in a second, for February 2nd at 8:30 for a pretrial hearing.
That's fine. And I'll try to work it out both just so that we can expedite it
All right, and the other case was on which docket?
on the 406. I just don't know what the case number is out of the 406.
Yes, Your Honor. On the 406, it's 2022 CRD 001178 D4. And he was arraigned on December 1st, Your Honor, and his informal is set for February 1st at 2 p.m.
We'll waive the informal, Judge, and just ask for it to be set for regular pretrial on February the 2nd.
Yep, all right. Let's do that, Mr. Pettis.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that way they can. Is it on this docket as well or no?
Yes, Your Honor. It's 406, page 3, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so anyone there at the jail, you do not have to bring out Mr. Chavarria.
He's the one in the second computer, Your Honor. He's present right there.
Oh, okay. Well, Mr. Tejas, he's Mr. Chavarria. Have you had a chance to talk to your attorney yet, Mr. Tejas? Probably not, because I just appointed him.
I think they might be having audio issues, Your Honor.
Mr. Chavarria, which Mr. Chavarria?
We're going to need an interpreter, Judge.
Señor Chavarria, ¿me puede oír?
Okay, so he can hear, we just can't hear them.
Yeah, the Webb County in the elevator room, we cannot hear you. Your audio.
There, Your Honor. Can you hear us now?
Yes,
Okay. We should be good to go.
okay.
Señor Chavarría, yo te voy a visitar, si no este viernes, el viernes que viene y hablo de los dos casos que tienes pendientes.
Está bien.
And can we let Mr. Chavarria know that his cases are being reset for February 2nd at 8:30?
Van a mover los dos casos para el 2 de febrero a las 8:30. Lo vamos a hacer de esta misma manera, pero voy a tratar de arreglar todo para deshacernos de todo para el 2 de febrero.
Ok, está bien.
Ok, ahí hablamos, señor Chavarría. Mucho gusto.
Gracias.
Gracias a usted.
Okay. Thank you.
Judge, I have that walk-in, but I'll just do it whenever you have a break or whenever you have time. She's present here in my courtroom or in my office.
Sit tight there. Give me a second.
No problem, Judge.
Next one, we have Randy Valverde, 406.
He's got several.
Omar Salinas for Mr. Valverde, Your Honor. Page 8.
Oh, we had another Valverde. The court calls 2022 CRH 355D4, the state of Texas versus Randy Valverde. Good afternoon, Mr. Valverde. Buenas tardes, señor. Mr. Salinas, is this yours?
Yes, Your Honor, this is my case. On this case, Your Honor, we're set for final pretrial. We just received a new offer from the state that I need to convey to Mr. Valverde. We could just have 2 weeks. I think it's gonna get, the case is gonna get resolved with a plea, Your Honor.
Can you let Mr. Valverde know?
Yes,
Who's our interpreter? Where's our interpreter?
This is Rosario, the
I understand, sir.
he understands English, Your Honor.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes, you understand? You got all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Okay. So February 2nd.
That should be good, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll set it for February 2nd for a plea.
Yes, Your Honor. He's not being held on this case. He picked up some new charges, Your Honor, but we're trying to work those in with the state.
All right, well, we'll see you back here on February 2nd, 8:30.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck, Mr. Valverde.
Thank you.
From the 406, Your Honor, Raymond Romero.
Omar Salinas or Mr. Romero, Your Honor.
Hold on, let me find it here. The court calls 2021 CRO 915D4, the state of Texas versus Ramon Raymond Romero. Good afternoon, Mr. Romero.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
So we're here for an MTR final hearing.
Yes, Your Honor. And the state has conveyed a recommendation of a 20-day sanction with credit, and then allowing him to be placed back on his probation, Your Honor. Mr. Romero has accepted that. We're just asking the court to accept that agreement.
Yeah,
Ramirez for the state. That is correct, Your Honor. That's the agreement.
okay, so we don't need to have him plead true then.
No, Your Honor. I believe the MTR can be just withdrawn, Your Honor.
Okay, so the court will approve the 20-day sanction. It looks like he said 26 days in there, so he'll be placed back on probation. Mr. Romero, did you get all that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you should be out either today or first thing in the morning, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck and stay out of trouble.
Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, if I may, before Mr. Romero leaves,
Yes.
if I'm not able to process him today, Your Honor, can he be instructed to report to the probation office upon being released?
Okay, so can you do that, Mr. Romero? Well, I'm gonna order that you do that, okay?
Yeah, I already had talked to probation about that, Mr. What's his name? Hernandez, Mr. Hernandez or something?
Yes, that's your officer.
Yeah, he told me to go see him as soon as I get be released.
Thank you.
All right, good luck, Mr. Romero.
Next, Your Honor, we have Angel Gutierrez, 341st.
Page 10, Your Honor.
Court calls 2022 CRJ 36D3, State of Texas versus Angel Gutierrez, and also calls 2022 CRJ 232D3, 2022 CRM 437D3, and 2022 CRO 231D3, State of Texas versus Angel Gutierrez.
Your Honor, these are my cases. We have reached an agreement in all cases. So we can just reset it maybe for next week so we can submit the proper paperwork.
Well, we have a setting on the 24th. Is that going to be enough time?
That should be enough time, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll reset all your cases, Mr. Gutierrez, for January 24th at 9 a.m. with Judge Hale. Did you get all that, Mr. Gutierrez?
Yes, sir.
Anything further, Ms. Brizuela?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Then we'll see you here in a few days, Mr. Gutierrez. Thank you, sir.
Juan Ricardo Morales, Your Honor, from
06.
from the 406, Your Honor.
The court calls 2018 CRC 18-0 D4, State of Texas versus Juan Ricardo Morales. Mr. Martinez, Silverio. Mr. Morales, have you talked to Mr. Martinez, your attorney? He was on.
How you doing, sir? I haven't talked to him, sir, but last time I talked to him, it was he told me that he's gonna remove him from my case because I couldn't pay him no more. But I haven't heard him since the day I got a touch on home of him. I was paying him on payments, but I never got a response back from him.
Your Honor. Yes.
Good afternoon, Judge Silverio Martinez. This is my client, correct, Morales?
Yes.
Yes, Judge, we're ready to proceed with the MTR.
Is there an agreement?
No, there isn't an agreement, Your Honor. We need to have a hearing.
Yes,
So I'm not
yes.
urging my motion to withdraw.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, Chris Calderon for the state. I just want to know, Mr. Martinez, would you be stipulating to condition 1? Which is the subsequent offense?
Oh, yes, we're stipulating to that one.
Okay, then the state's ready to proceed, Your Honor. We could be left at the end. We'll go downstairs and so you can be there in person. At the 406, I mean.
Yeah, and I'll probably wander up there then. Mr. Martinez, you're gonna have to sit. We don't have that many cases left. I mean, but we're looking at about an hour. Let me talk to the jail real quick. Are you able to? Can you bring back Mr. Juan Ricardo Morales in a while?
Yes, Your Honor. Is it going to be on Zoom or in person at the
Yes. No,
406?
you can bring him back in Zoom, or I mean, actually, if you have the deputies available to take him to the courtroom.
Okay. I'll go ahead and notify.
But if not, we can do it by Zoom, whatever's easier for you guys.
Okay, sure will. Yes, Judge.
All right, Mr. Tejas, are you there?
Yes, Judge.
Is Miss Flores there with you?
Yes, she is. Ms. Flores, unmute your microphone.
Mr. Tejas, this is the case that came out of my drug court.
Yes, sir.
We had okay. So, where's Miss Flores? Oh, there she is. Good afternoon again, Miss Flores. How you doing?
Hello, Judge. How are you?
Good. It looks like, according to what's been presented to me, there's an agreement with the state regarding this case.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so Miss Flores, I want to ask you to raise your right hand so you can be sworn in by the clerk.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. Apologies, Your Honor. Can I have a case number? This is a walk-in?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the court is calling 2019 CRM 1205 D4, the state of Texas versus Sandra Flores.
It's on page 1 of the 406 docket.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm gonna knock it off. And Ms. Flores, you're here with your attorney, Mr. Tejas. Have you had enough time to talk to him about your case and ask him questions about what's going to happen here today?
Yes.
Have you been satisfied with the services he's provided to you?
Yes.
Is there anything you need to tell me that prevents you from understanding what we're doing here today?
No.
Okay. Have you been satisfied with the services he has provided you?
Yes.
Mr. Diaz, do you believe your client is competent to go forward today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Flores, I have in front of me the plea package. Did you go over this with your attorney before you signed it? Do you have any questions about this document?
No, that's fine.
Okay. In here, you're telling me that you're well, she's already pled out, Mr. We just need to go into the sentencing portion.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I mean, she did, basically the court, she had signed the waiver, so the court could do that, but out of an abundance of caution, we did the plea agreement because she had never been fingerprinted. But based on the pretrial diversion waiver, if the court accepts it, the court can just find her guilty and then just go to sentencing.
Yeah, I'm looking through that now. This is the documents you brought me just a little while ago.
Yes, Your Honor. That's a complete plea packet from the 406.
Okay. So, Ms. Flores, I guess you had previously signed an agreement for pretrial diversion in where you were advised that that document could be used to determine your guilt. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay, and the court is going to accept that and find you guilty of the offense of a state jail felony possession of a controlled substance. Is the state offering state's exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection.
State's exhibit number 1. Okay, Ms. Flores, having previously found you guilty of the offense and now moving on to sentencing, the court is going to approve the agreement you have with the state, which is that your punishment will be assessed at 2 years to serve in a TDCJ, but it will be probated for 2 years. And as part of the probation, you'll be required to complete 100 hours of community service, and you will be given credit 4-for-1 and a fine of $250. And the court is going to waive any court costs and attorney's fees in this case.
Your Honor, we're going to ask the court to waive the probation fees, considering that she had already been doing probation for the past 2 years through the pretrial diversion program, which is much like it's a steeper probation fee than the regular probation fees.
No, and she was a participant for a long time in the program, so I'm inclined to do that as well. So the fine will also be waived. Any questions then, Ms. Flores, about what just happened?
No.
All right. Well, you look well. I hope you're doing well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I know we went through a lot of hearings together and everything, but I really want to wish you the best, okay? And hope you'll remember all the things you learned.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Best of luck going forward.
Your Honor, there had been a request for deferred in there. I don't know if the court granted it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see that there at the bottom.
And the court can stipulate that she has no prior felony convictions and regardless of whether it's deferred or not, she's pleading 2 years, probated for 2 years. So in essence, it is the maximum anyway.
All right, the court will consider the defense motion and it will be granted. So the court is going to retract its finding of guilt and find you and sentence you on unadjudicated probation for 2 years and with also the indicated punishment of 2 years to serve in the TDCJ. The court has waived the fine of $250 and also court costs and attorney's fees in this case. All right, anything further, Mr. Ortega? Sorry, I missed that.
No, that is it, Judge.
All right, good luck going forward, Ms. Flores, and thank you, counsel.
Your
Thank you.
Honor, if I may, before Ms. Flores leaves,
Yes,
can I get a telephone number for her? And also if she can report tomorrow at 9 AM to be processed, or if she can come today as well. I don't know if she's available.
Ms. Flores?
Can I do it tomorrow morning? I have to pick up my daughter.
Yes, tomorrow morning at 9 AM. Is that okay?
Yes,
Okay, thank you. Can I get your phone number, Ms. Flores?
956-436-1005.
Thank you. And Your Honor, as far as the conditions of probation, it's only the 100 hours of community service with the 4-for-1?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. That is all I have. May I be excused?
Thank you, Mr. Tellez. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great day.
Mr. Pettis, make sure that I don't know if the jail's gonna bring the defendant live. Make sure the Zoom meetings are going on Judge Hale's computers when I go up
Yeah,
there.
yes, sir, I'm on his bench right now. So just leave your
Yeah, I'll leave it on. Yeah, don't worry.
and make us the the host, so you can be able to control it from here,
Well, I mean,
since you're not gonna be in your office.
let me do that.
Or make us a co-host so we can go
No.
ahead and,
There it goes.
all right, thank you, Judge.
Yeah, there won't be any need for making you a host.
Yes, sir.
All right, who do we have next?
From the 341st, Your Honor, Ricardo Gonzalez.
The court calls 2020 CRH 1134D3, the state of Texas versus Ricardo Ismael Gonzalez.
Yes, Your Honor. Gabriel here on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez, and we're here for an MTR, Your Honor. An offer has been conveyed. I've informed my client of the offer. However, he is facing charges in Duval County. We're trying to see, and I've been in communication with his Duval County attorney. We're trying to see if we can work these two matters out together, or at least concurrent, Your Honor. So at this time, we'd actually request a 1-month reset.
Does the 15th of February work?
That works, Your Honor.
All right, so that'll be with me at 1 PM, February 15th.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Your Honor, that's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes. Did you get that, Mr. Gonzalez?
Sir.
Okay, good luck, sir. We'll see you. I'll see you on the 15th.
Next, Your Honor, we have Jose Humberto Navarro, 341st.
The court calls 2020 CRO 2029D3, the state of Texas versus Jose Humberto Navarro Jr.
Your Honor, he's on page 4, 8, and 9.
Also calls 2022 CRD 5303 and 2022 CRD 1070. State of Texas versus Mr. Peña, Oscar.
Your Honor, if I may. I do represent Mr. Navarro on 2 of the cases from the 341st, Your Honor. We've been talking to Mr. Peña and to the prosecutors assigned to the different cases. We're still negotiating a global offer. He can make us an offer, we get a counter offer. So if we can get another reset, maybe 30 days to see how we're gonna close this case up.
Okay, we'll set it also on my docket for the 15th of February at 1 p.m., all three cases.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Did you get all that, Mr. Navarro? Yeah.
He's saying yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
From the 49th, Your Honor, Gerardo Carrizales.
The court calls 2022 CR 1088D1, the state of Texas versus Gerardo Carrizales.
Judge, he's also on page 4.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Okay. Court also calls 2022 CRO 425D1. Good afternoon, Mr. Flores.
Judge, it said for a motion setting, I have filed some motions on one of the cases that he has on the docket and not on the other one, but late last week, I did communicate with the district attorney's office with both, well, one of the prosecutors, but they've made a global offer on the two cases and some other unindicted cases. I have reviewed those with him. I need to talk a little bit more with the prosecutor, see if we can iron out a few things on it. I do believe that we can resolve the case, but we would need a little short continuance so we can do that.
How much time do
The
you
court has a short.
I mean, while we have the 24th of this month, that may be too quick, but the 2nd of February or the 8th?
Yeah, the 2nd would probably be good, Judge.
All right, so that'll be February 2nd at 8:30 in the morning with Judge Palomo.
And Judge, if I may, if we do work out a deal, obviously we do the 49th, but it's just Judge Palomo's gonna handle the
Yes.
jail docket, I guess.
Yes, it's the in custody docket.
Okay.
All three dockets will be on there.
Mr. Flores, you want me to set it for a plea or no? Or for final pretrial?
However you need to set it. I think it's, I mean, we're not 100% there yet, but I'm pretty confident that we're gonna get there. So whatever's best for your setting, it doesn't matter.
Final pretrial. You let me know
Okay.
if you want to take a plea.
Thank you.
All right, did you get all that, Mr. Carrizales? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, all right, we'll see you back here in a couple of, about 2 weeks. All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have, my excuse.
Thank you, Mr. Flores. Yes.
Honor, quick question, for Abel Adrian Guzman for the 49th, was he called for his 49th case? Because we haven't doubled on the other docket.
Yes, he
On
was.
46.
Yeah, he was already called. He's reset for March the 8th.
Okay. All right, next, Your Honor, we have Hector Zuniga Garcia, 49th. He will need an interpreter.
All right, the court calls 2019 CRI 1588D1, the state of Texas versus Hector Zuniga Garcia. Buenas tardes, señor Garcia.
Buenas tardes, señor. Yes, Your Honor, we're here on an MTR final hearing. We do have an agreement.
Está presentando su caso en una audiencia de su juicio y tenemos ya un acuerdo.
And the agreement, is it a modification or is he going to plead true?
It is a modification, Your Honor. He pled 2 for 4 on a state jail felony. The modification is 10 months to serve under 1244. And he has some pending cases which the state has agreed under 1245, if he accepts responsibility, that they will not, of course, proceed on it after.
That's correct, Judge. So it does involve a pleading of true, but the sentence would be modified.
Yes.
So the court will approve the modification, which is 10 months to serve. And the court will approve the 1244 so that he can serve it here in Webb County. And take into account under 1245 the pending cases, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Would you like for me to list them? I mean, they're just the pending cases he has, so I know the state's aware.
Well, I mean, just briefly, how many are there?
5.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that, just so there's no misunderstanding. The court is taking into account in this sentence, the following 5 cases. Go ahead.
Yes, a failure to ID, misdemeanor B, that are said to have occurred November 28, 2022. Theft Class B with date of offense October 22nd, 2022. A theft Class B, date of offense November 7th, 2022. A theft Class B, date of offense November 20, 2022. And a possession of controlled substance, date of offense December 4th, 2020.
All right. Court, again, as indicated, will take into account those 5 offenses in the punishment of 10 months to serve. Is that your understanding, Mr. Estulande? Well, can you translate? Is that your understanding, or can you translate all that?
Eso es lo que usted está entendiendo, señor, que usted tiene sus 5 casos que se van a tomar en cuenta y se va a estar haciendo la modificación, que usted va a estar sirviendo 10 meses en la cárcel del condado de Webb.
Sí, claro que sí.
Yes.
If I may, Your Honor,
Yes,
just to clarify, the MTR will be withdrawn?
and the MTR is withdrawn, yes.
He's pleading to
No.
Your Honor, the employer.
Yes, Judge, the probation's revoked. So
no,
Revoked. So it's a revocation.
Yes.
No, it was a modification.
No,
Yeah, so
it-
MTR is withdrawn. The MTR is with,
if I may, Judge, so with the pleading of true, the probation will get revoked. However, his original plea gets lessened through the 1244. So that's why we're modifying the sentence, but it is a revocation with the pleading of true.
so he does, what conditions do we need him to plead true to then?
We could just choose one, Judge, for sake of time.
Okay.
I don't have the list in front of me.
We'll do one.
Choose condition 2 where he tested positive on November 25th of 2020.
All right, so Mr. Zuniga, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Señora Zúñiga, ¿puede levantar su mano derecha para prestar juramento?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
¿Jura usted decir la verdad, toda la verdad y solamente la verdad bajo el amparo de Dios?
Sí.
So, Mr. Zuniga, the state has alleged that you violated condition number 2, conditions of probation. As to that, how do you plead true or not true?
Señora Zúñiga, el Estado menciona que usted estuvo en quebranto de su libertad condicional en el número 2. ¿Cómo se declara usted culpable? ¿O cierto?
Sí.
And let the record reflect that he indicated yes. Okay, the court finds that you have violated condition number 2 and imposes the following modification or sentence. You're going to be sanctioned to serve 10 months, having approved, the court is approving the 1244 motion to serve here in Webb County. Can you translate?
La Corte está mencionando que usted estuvo en quebranto de la condición número 2. Se va a modificar su sentencia. Usted va a estar sirviendo 10 meses y se va a aprobar la modificación de la 1244 a servir este tiempo en el condado de Webb.
And the court, in giving that sentence, took into account under 1245, the 5 pending cases.
Y dentro de esta, se está tomando en cuenta la 1245, donde se está tomando en cuenta los 5 casos que tiene pendientes.
Okay.
And Your Honor, we're just respectfully requesting credit for the time he's already served.
En este momento estamos pidiendo crédito con todo respeto por el tiempo que ya tiene servido.
The court will grant him credit for all time served.
Se le va a dar el tiempo o crédito por todo el tiempo que ya tiene servido.
Anything further, Ms. Vargas?
No, Your Honor, nothing further from the defense.
All right. Then everyone's excused. Buena suerte, señor Zúñiga.
Con permiso.
And that's all I have, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Vargas.
Thank you.
Jesus Garcia, Your Honor, from the 49th.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
The court calls 2019 CRM 1034D1, the state of Texas versus Jesus Garcia. Good afternoon, Mr. Garcia. Do you understand English?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Garcia, I have in front of me a plea package that your attorney sent to me. Is it your understanding you have an agreement regarding your charges with the district attorney's office?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can I ask you to raise your right hand to be sworn in?
You swore to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Garcia, is your true and correct name Jesus Garcia?
Yes, sir.
Have you had enough time to talk to your attorney about your case and what's going to happen here today?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the services he has provided you?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything that I need to know about that prevents you from understanding what we're doing here today?
No, sir. Everything is okay.
Okay. And Mr. Trevino,
Yes, Your Honor.
do you believe your client to be competent to go forward with trial today?
I believe he is.
Okay. So, Mr. Garcia, I have the agreement here in front of me. Did you go over that with your attorney before you signed it?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about this agreement?
No, sir.
Okay. In here, you're telling me that you're giving up certain rights, and I'm going to cover a few of those to make sure you understand the rights you're giving up. And the first right is you do not have to plead guilty. You have the right to remain silent. You also have the right to have a jury hear your case and assess your punishment. Do you understand that you're giving up those rights?
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, this is a motion to revoke, so he's
Oh,
pleading
I'm
true.
sorry. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, that's the same still applies. Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. So we're not here to plead guilty to. You're here on a motion to revoke. Is there an indication of which conditions he violated?
Your Honor, he's being true to all the conditions that are alleged.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Garcia,
I can share the MTR if you'd like.
yeah, I'm trying to read through this. It's
1, 2, 5, and 11.
1, 2, 5, and 11.
Your Honor, it's 1, 2, 5, 11, condition 20 and condition 21. It's on the next page, the other
No.
condition.
No, not in my package. All right, that's fine. So, Mr. Garcia, the state of Texas, the district attorney's office filed a motion to revoke your probation. And in that, they indicated that you violated certain conditions, specifically number 1, 2, 5, 11, 20, and 21. As to those allegations, how do you plead, true or not true? Can you unmute? There you go. I'm sorry.
True, sir.
All right. And are you pleading true, freely, and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And aside from the agreement that you have with the state, is anybody else or anyone promising you anything else for pleading true today?
No, sir.
Okay, so the court's going to accept your plea of true today. I find that it's been made freely and voluntarily. The court finds that you have violated the conditions of 1, 2, 5, 11, 20, and 21. And having found that you have violated those conditions, the court is now going to punish you along the lines of the agreement that you have with the state of Texas, which is to serve 200 days in a state jail facility with credit for time served. What's that word, Mr. Trevino, there? The,
Your Honor, under Article 42A 559, if he goes to a state jail felony facility and they offer him a program, I think it's a drug program. If he diligently participates, he can get granted good time credit in the state jail felony facility.
oh, okay, diligent. I was trying to figure out.
It's diligent credit. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, then the court will approve that as well. Is that your understanding of the agreement, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions?
No, sir.
All right. And the court will also approve any other credit for time served. All right, anything further then, Mr. Trevino?
No, Your Honor, I believe that's everything for this case.
All right, good luck, Mr. Garcia.
Okay, thank you, sir, Your Honor.
All right,
Your Honor, I believe that's everything for the public defenders in the 49th. May we be excused?
yes, and I think that also applies to the staff of the 49th, so you all are free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank
For the
you.
rest of the staff that are still here, including the court reporter, is everyone okay going?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just keep going then.
Next, Your Honor, we have Pedro Vicente Morales, 341st. He will need an interpreter.
The court calls 2009 CRP 35D3, the state of Texas versus Pedro Vicente Morales.
Sí, señor. Así es. Ese es mi nombre.
Yes, that is correct.
Good afternoon, buenas tardes, señor.
Buenas tardes.
Your Honor, this is my case. And at this time, Your Honor, we are asking for a short recess, maybe on the 24th. It looks like this case will be disposed of, Your Honor. So we, the state just needs to confirm one last thing before they can do so.
En este momento estamos pidiendo un aplazamiento de esta audiencia, ya que quizás se puedan retirar los cargos o se pueda quitar el caso.
So we'll set it for the 24th of January at 9 a.m.
Vamos a volver a escuchar su caso para el día 24 de enero a las 9 de la mañana.
Gracias. Que Dios me lo bendiga. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Buena suerte, señor. Good luck.
From the 406, Your Honor, Daniel Gabriel Sanchez Baez. And he also needs an interpreter.
What page is he on? Oh, there he is. Last page. The court calls 2022 CRH 714D4, the state of Texas versus Daniel Gabriel Sanchez Baez.
Yes, Your Honor. Omar Salinas for Mr. Sanchez Baez.
Mr. Baez, do you need an interpreter? ¿Necesitas un intérprete? Okay. Let Mr. Baez that he's here on his first appearance after the charges were filed against him, and I'm going to ask his attorney if he has an announcement regarding those charges.
Señora Sánchez, usted está aquí en su primera audiencia después de que a usted se le han imputado sus cargos. El juez ahora le va a preguntar a su abogado si tiene algún anuncio.
I proceed, Your Honor.
You may.
At this time, Mr. Sanchez Baez pleads not guilty. We waive the reading of the indictment and we request our next court date, Your Honor.
En este momento, el señor Sánchez se presenta no culpable, renuncia a la lectura de cargos y estamos pidiendo la siguiente audiencia.
Informal set for March 1st, Your Honor, at 2 p.m.
Tenemos la siguiente disponible para el día 1 de marzo a las 2 de la tarde.
And if I may, Your Honor, Mr. Sanchez Baez currently does not have a bond. However, there is an agreement with the state for a $10,000 bond through pretrial services.
En este momento, el señor Sánchez no tiene una fianza, pero sí hay un acuerdo con el Estado de una fianza de $10,000 con los servicios previos al juicio.
If the court's willing to grant it.
Queremos saber si usted se lo puede otorgar.
Is that the state's position?
Yes, Judge Ana Garza, for the state, that is the agreement.
¿Esa es la postura del Estado? Sí, eso, señoría. Ese es el acuerdo.
And if we could just have a telephone number and an address, Your Honor, I believe they were having issues with serving him with the indictment, so.
Si se le puede pedir número de teléfono y domicilio debido a que estamos teniendo problemas para informarle del caso.
¿Su número, señor Sánchez?
Mi número nuevo es 361-717-2418.
That's 361-717-2418.
All right, and for the disposition, the court is going to grant a request for a $10,000 bond through pretrial services.
En este momento se le aprueba la petición de la fianza de $10,000 por medio de los servicios previos al juicio.
La dirección nueva. Tengo dirección nueva, address. Yo compré casa y yo llamé y cambié la dirección y no sé por qué nunca me enviaron la carta a la dirección nueva.
I recently just bought a house and I have a new address. I don't know why I never received that at the new address.
Can you give us the new address again, just so your attorney can have it as well?
Mencióname tu nuevo domicilio.
1820 Road, 5601, Cleveland, Texas, 77327.
1820 Road, 5601, Cleveland, Texas, 77327.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
Judge, if he's going to bond out to pretrial, was it going to be telephonic reporting?
¿Cuál, otro teléfono?
Wait, hold on a second.
Un segundo.
Where's Cleveland, Texas? Is that over there by Victoria?
No,
¿Dónde
es
Cleveland? ¿Es por la ciudad de Victoria?
al norte de Houston, a 40 minutos de donde estaba la dirección que yo vivía.
40 minutes from the previous address, close to Houston. Yeah, I'll go ahead and approve that as well. Might as well. And telephonic, Valerie, thank you.
¿Y te puedo decir algo?
Si sale en libertad, usted se pudiera reportar por teléfono. Could I say something?
No, que por favor, ya yo tengo el mailbox key de la dirección nueva, que por favor me mande la dirección ahí para no pasar este problema otra vez.
I do not want to go through this problem again, and you have my new address. Anything can be sent there.
Y otro número de teléfono también tengo.
I have another phone number also.
Danos también el teléfono. Give us the phone as well.
469 685 4930 4930.
469-685-4930.
Okay. Anything further, Mr. Salinas?
No, Your Honor, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Buenas suertes, señor.
Gracias.
Next, Your Honor, we have Carlos Junior Contreras, 406.
Omar Salinas for Mr. Contreras.
The court calls 2022 CRI 613D4, the state of Texas versus Carlos Contreras. Good afternoon, Mr. Contreras.
Good afternoon.
What do we have here?
Your
May I
Honor,
proceed,
if I
Your
may.
Honor? Oh,
Go ahead, Mr. Salinas.
did Ms. Villarreal need to say something about this case?
Yes, Your Honor, if I could.
Go ahead.
Judge, you had granted Mr. Contreras a payment plan, I'm sorry, a bond through pretrial services. Judge, he did get rearrested on a new offense. It's an unauthorized use of a vehicle, state jail felony, while out on bond with us, Judge. He was just booked for that December 28th.
When I granted him the bond on these cases, these three.
Yes, Your Honor, on the 406 case.
Well, Your Honor, if I may, I think what we're going to announce is should resolve that issue, Your Honor. We're here on a status, Your Honor. There was a mental evaluation that was conducted for Mr. Contreras. He was found to be incompetent. I'm not sure if the court has a copy of that report. The state does have a copy. I believe they're going to request from the courts to have him sent to a hospital to regain competency, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Judge Ana Garza for the state, that is correct. We did review the report and he is incompetent and we would be asking the court to send him to be restored.
Oh, I see that. Wait, hold on. No, this is Chapa. No, I don't have it, but. Well. Then the state's motion will be granted.
And if the court
Yes,
did
Your
make, oh, sorry. Go
I
ahead, Mark.
apologize. Yes, I apologize. An order of competency would need to be signed, and so we can go ahead and start the process and try to get them into the waiting list for a hospital bed.
Yeah, and if the court makes that finding that he is incompetent, we won't oppose it, Your Honor. We'll do an agreed motion with the state to have him regain his competency. We will just ask for the court to lift his bond since he is not being held on the case that's before the court at this time. He's here on that new offense.
Wait, say that again.
I'm asking if the court makes the finding that he is incompetent, we're not going to oppose the finding. So we will submit an agreed motion to have him committed with the state. And then we were going to ask for his bond to be lifted for this particular case because he's not being held on this case. He's out on bond on this case. He was being held on the new offense at the JP level.
So you're asking me, yeah, to revoke his bond that I.
Yes, Your Honor. And to make the finding for the record that he is incompetent.
Well, I thought I had, but just for clarity, then the court does find, based on the report, that Mr. Contreras is incompetent. In addition, the court is going to revoke his bonds. The 3 bonds previously granted by this court.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I'll work with the state to get that order submitted to the court for the court's signature.
Okay. All right. Good luck, Mr. Contreras.
Your Honor, I believe he has a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Contreras.
Okay, what am I gonna do? I got a $200 down payment bond. I gotta pay for it, and my family says they're gonna pay for my $200, and so I could get released in like in 2 hours. And it's $10,000, but can I get released for $200 with Bianca's bail bonds?
Mr. Contreras, okay, you were in front of me a couple of months ago or last month. And I gave you a chance to get out, okay? And then according to what they're telling me, you took another vehicle, okay, and you got rearrested. Okay, but also you were evaluated by the doctor. You remember that?
Yeah, I saw the doctor, and they gave me prescription pills, but I need stronger prescription pills.
So one of the things I'm going to do, what I already am doing is I'm going to send you to the hospital so you can get some help. Okay.
When?
Well, I've already approved it. So as soon as possible, you'll have to wait in jail for a bed to become available.
You go to the hospital, sir?
According to the doctors you saw, you have some issues that you have to deal with, Mr. Contreras. I wish there was another option right now, but you seem to be getting into the same trouble over and over, okay? And right now they're saying that you can't help your attorney defend you because the only other option is, I mean, well, there is no option really. Mr. Salinas, you may have to go down and explain to him what's happening again.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll do that.
Okay. All right. Well,
From the 406, Your Honor. Marco Reyes Callejas.
Omar Salinas for Mr. Reyes Callejas, Your Honor.
pages.
Just need an interpreter. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Cassandra de Hoyos, I'm here present for Mr. Rogelio Soto.
Oh, here it is. The court calls 2022 CRE 319D4, the state of Texas versus Marcos Reyes Callejas.
En este caso estamos en el caso 2022 CRE 319D4, el Estado contra Marco Reyes Callejas.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Ya, buenas tardes, señor Callejas.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, we're negotiating with the state. I was under the impression that we were going to be able to plead this case out today. However, when I spoke to Mr. Reyes Callejas today, he told me that he's going to get an attorney, a different attorney. I'm still appointed to the case. I didn't see that anyone filed a motion to substitute or a notice of appearance on his behalf. However, we were just going to request about a 3-week reset to give that attorney time to either file notice, and if no one files anything, then I think we can proceed with the negotiations and a plea at that time.
En ese momento pienso que ya teníamos un tipo de negociación con el Estado, pero después de haber hablado con mi cliente me dice que él quería contratar un abogado diferente. Todavía no he recibido ninguna información de que yo vaya a ser sustituido. Si ese es el caso, quiero pedir unas 3 semanas para darle oportunidad al abogado. Si no, creo que podemos continuar.
Judge Cassandra Lewis for the state. I'm not opposed to a 3-week, for a setting in 3 weeks.
Okay. Are you trying to get a new attorney, Mr. Callejas?
Señor Callejas, ¿usted está tratando de contratar un nuevo abogado?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna give you 3 weeks to do that, okay?
Le voy a dar 3 semanas para que lo pueda lograr.
Okay.
All right, so we'll set it for February 8th at 9:30.
Su siguiente comparecencia sería el día 8 de febrero a las 9:30.
Okay.
Buena suerte, señor. Good luck.
Gracias.
Thank you, Your Honor. And can I make a quick announcement, Your Honor, on another case?
Sure.
It's on the top of page 7, Hector Lino Reyes. He's in federal custody. I think he's in Webb County. However, I'm not sure if the jail is going to bring him because a writ was not filed. And if they're not going to bring him, we just need another setting, Your Honor.
That is correct, Your Honor. We did not bring him down to the holding cell.
Okay, so you want to set it for the same date, the 8th?
That's fine, Your Honor. Well, I guess I should ask the state.
There's no objection to that date, Judge.
All right, we'll reset the final pretrial for February 8th at 9:30.
And that's all for me, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Thank you, Mr. Salinas.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, we have Alejandro Vela, Your Honor. Alejandro Vela.
I'm here, Judge.
All right, we've got several cases for Mr. Vela here. Let me call all the cases. The court calls 2022 CRD 69D4, 2021 CRO 80D4, 2021 CRO 1502D4, and 2021 CRO 1096D4.
5406.
Mr. Armando Trevino.
I'm here, Judge.
What's happening with these 4 cases?
Your Honor, on Mr. Alejandro Vela, I have received an offer from Ms. Garza Gutierrez. I have been trying to talk to her to see if we could reduce the time. I've not been able to. I'd like to see if we could reset it so that we can work them all out together. There's a case also in Hebron.
How much time do you need, Mr. Trevino?
I would say 20 days, Your Honor. Ms. Gutierrez, Ms. Garza Gutierrez.
Yes, Judge, there's no objection to a reset.
All right, well, we'll set it on my docket for the 15th of February at 1 p.m.
Okay. Can I come and talk to you or set up an appointment so we can talk? Ms. Garza Gutierrez.
Yes, Mr. Trevino, you can give me a call.
Okay. What's your extension? What's your extension, ma'am?
4928.
All right.
Did you get all that, Mr. Vela?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck, Mr. Vela. I'll see you on the 15th.
Thank you, Your Honor. God bless.
You have two. On the 341st, Your Honor, Luis Antu.
He's on page 6 and 13.
Court calls 2021 CRL 636D3. And on what page?
13, Your Honor.
13.
2022 CRO 524D3, the state of Texas versus Luis Antu. And Mr. Trevino, this is your case as well? You're on mute, Mr. Trevino. There you are.
Somebody muted me.
Might have been me. No. All right, so we're here on an MTR arraignment and let's take care of the arraignment first, and then we'll deal with the pretrial, the final pretrial.
Your Honor, I'd like to see if we could work them out together because they are going, it's a serving to serve time and to serve time, both of them together.
All right, well, let's, in the case ending in 6363, Mr. Antu, you understand English?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so on that case, the one I just called, you're here because the state filed a petition to revoke your probation. So I'm going to ask your attorney if he has an announcement for you regarding those allegations. Go ahead, Mr. Trevino.
Your Honor, he is willing to plead true, and the offer has been 2 years to serve, to run concurrent with another case.
What, you want to plea him out now? Or,
I'm at the court's mercy or at the prosecutor's mercy. I'll do whatever they want me to.
well, we're here on arraignment. I mean, it sounds like you want to go through.
Yes, he wants to,
If
wants-
Mr. Antu and Mr. Trevino, I did come in and offer, state's ready to proceed on my case if they're ready, Your Honor.
On the motion to revoke?
Correct.
All right, so
We have an agreement. I'm just not sure the defense is ready to enter into it, or I don't know. The other one, from my understanding, is set for plea as well. So I don't know if they're going to both be taken today. I'm ready to proceed with the agreement on mine. If that's what if the defense is ready.
I understand that they are both to run concurrent.
It's correct.
okay, so look, why don't you make the initial plea on the motion to revoke, and we'll set both of them for a plea, or a final hearing and a plea. In 2 or 3 weeks.
That's fine.
So what's the announcement regarding the allegations on the motion to revoke, Mr. Trevino?
True, Your Honor.
Okay, so you want to enter a plea of true?
Yes.
All right, so what were the conditions that he's alleged to have violated?
I have that information, Your Honor. It's condition 1, condition 2, 4, 6, 10, and 20.
All right. So, Mr. Antu, I'm going to have to swear you in. Can you please raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right. Is your true and correct name Luis Antu?
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking right now about the motion to revoke that the state filed against you. Has your attorney explained to you what's going to happen here today right now?
Yes. I just wanted to ask, I have 8 months of credit. Is that gonna count?
I will tell you that normally, yes, okay, but we have to address that during sentencing. But it's very rare for any judge not to give you credit for time served. I mean, unless you did something horrible in the jail, or a problem, but more than likely, but I can't guarantee you that right now. What I'm probably going to do is accept your plea today and then not sentence you until we do the plea on the other case, and we'll set them together. Because there seems to be an indication that they're going to run at the same time, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
So in the petition that the state filed against you, they said you violated the following conditions: 1, 2, 4, 6, 10, and 20. As to those allegations, how do you plead, true or not true?
True.
And you're pleading true, freely, and voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay, and your attorney explained to you what that means?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to accept your plea of true and find that you have violated the indicated conditions. I'm not going to impose a sentence right now or a punishment because I'm going to set it together with the other case you have pending on page 13. And I'm going to set that for a plea on the 15th of February at 1 p.m. with me. I'm also going to set the first case, the one ending in 636, on that same date, so that we can do it all together.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anything further then on this case?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, stay rest.
All right, thank you all.
Judge, may I be excused?
Thank you, Mr. Trevino.
May God bless and protect all of us, Judge.
But there was two
All right.
cases.
And Your Honor, that's also all I have for the state. May I be excused?
Yes,
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you, Mr. Vigil. Hold on a second, I'm getting calls from the jail. Let me see what's going on over there. ¿Qué pasó, Captain? I'm on in custody. ¿Qué pasó?
No eran dos personas, era una persona.
Right, nomás I'm two, pero he had two cases.
A Class B where he hit another vehicle or what? Do me a favor, set it at 5 and 3. Yeah, but text it to me so that I have it, so that I can do it on the Automon later. Can you text it? Okay, what's the defendant's name? Okay, sorry, yeah, I'm still here on the bench. Bye. All right, sorry about that. I'm sorry, who do we have next?
Rutilio Mendoza.
The court calls 2019 CRF 1348 D3, the state of Texas versus Rutilo Mendoza Musto.
Sí, señor.
From the
Buenas
weapon,
tardes.
I'm sorry, Judge. From the weapon jail, Mr. Murtillo will need a translator, interpreter.
Right, we got that.
Your Honor, this is the gentleman that I requested to see if I can have him on Zoom for a quick minute.
Fernando, are you there? Fernando from the 49.
Your Honor, Cassandra Lewis for the state, just real quick before Mr. Lozano's put in a breakout room, I did want to advise him that I do have the authority to give him a time serve offer at this time for this case.
Yeah, Judge, and I think with that, it will help us a lot. I just need to go ahead and speak to Mr. Rutilo, and I tried to do that yesterday, Judge, but they informed me that he was in quarantine in his area.
En este momento su abogado está buscando una sala privada para hablar con usted, señor Utilo, porque ayer le dijeron que usted estaba bajo cuarentena y no había sido posible.
Ok. Vinieron otros abogados de los que estaban junto con nosotros allí, pero a ellos sí los dejaron entrar. No sé por qué no dejaron entrar a mi abogado.
There were other attorneys that let them in. I don't know why they did not let in my attorney.
Well, they told me it was his particular cell. For some reason, they told me that they weren't allowing, or that they were in quarantine. Those were the words that they told us.
Creo que era alguien en particular en su celda. Esa fue la razón que me dieron, que estaban bajo cuarentena. No sé.
Okay, so look, where's Fernando? Alma, are you there? Oh, the 49th is gone. Shoot. And
Judge, did you need a breakout room?
Can you put Mr. Lozano and Mr. Rutilo in a breakout room so we can let them know what's going on? Because it sounds like we're gonna have, Mr. Lozano, it sounds like we're just gonna set this for a plea, right?
After the statement from the prosecution, Your Honor, I think so, yes. I think we will, definitely. I mean, that's going to be my recommendation.
Oh, well, okay. Who's that? Raquel?
Karen.
Or Karen?
Karen, Judge, yes.
I'm sorry. Karen, can you put Mr. Lozano and Mr. Rutilo in one of the breakout rooms?
Yes, Judge.
Jail, can you all do that?
Yes, sir.
so that Mr. Lozano can let them know what's going on?
Van a pasar a una sala privada para que su abogado le diga qué es lo que va a suceder.
Okay, there, Judge. I
All
think
right.
Mr. Lozano just needs to join.
Okay. Do we have any other ones?
No, Your Honor, he's the last one. And the other one that's pending is Juan Morales, which is for the 406.
That's the one up, we're gonna do the hearing on, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So after they're done talking, if I'd known that, what we're gonna do is break for 10 minutes. The 406, I'm gonna reconvene in the courtroom to do the hearing. What was the name of the gentleman?
I believe it's Juan R. Morales.
Juan R. Morales, the 406, right?
Yes, from the 406, Your Honor.
So this is the last defendant we have then.
Yes, just this is the last one we're having, the one in the breakout room, and then just Juan Morales.
Yes.
I believe we still have one client pending on the 331st docket, page 13, Mr. Alfredo Sanchez Garcia, unless I missed him. Judge.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Oh,
We do not have him on the docket, on our docket for the transport. Garcia, right?
Yes, Sanchez Garcia.
No, he's not on our list. That's why he wasn't brought up.
I have a couple on the 406 also, if I may, Your Honor, whenever there's a
let's
window.
do this. Well, Raquel, let's set this, what was it set for?
Status hearing, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may, for Mr. Sanchez Garcia, I just sent over the agreed motion to restore competency.
Oh,
So if we could perhaps get another setting, that way we can see where he falls on the list and the approximate wait time.
well, should we set it for March 2nd? At
Yes, Your
8:30?
Honor.
Raquel, yeah, status on the competency or the referral.
Yes, March 2nd at 8:30.
Then that's with Judge Palomo. It's her case. And
Thank you, Judge.
okay, and the 406.
On page 1, Your Honor, Blanca Villarreal, I know she's on the docket. She's not in custody though, Your Honor. We didn't call that one. On page 3, Nancy Medina.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Your Honor.
On page 1, Blanca Lisette Villarreal. Oh, this was reset. That's the Dancos case.
Okay.
Who's that?
Fabian, clerk.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Blanca Lisette Villarreal was being reset to the 15th of February,
Okay.
1 p.m. by agreement. And we took care of some of the Flores. That was it. Any other ones?
Yes. On page 3, Your Honor, bottom, Nancy Medina.
Well, let's go back to the other case. Hold on, we'll take care of this one.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we have an agreement. We can just get a reset so we can go ahead and prepare the plea documents, Your Honor.
Okay, so how much time do you need?
If the court can give me a week, Your Honor.
Well, we have one on the 24th. That's cutting it close. Is that enough time, the 24th or the 2nd of February?
The 24th is fine, Your Honor.
January 24th at 9 a.m. then? For a
Yes,
plea.
Your Yes, Your Honor.
I'm not surprised. All right. Are they gonna bring it back or cut them loose?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Lozano. I don't know if they're gonna bring them back, but I'll let them know.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Any other defendants from the jail?
No, Your Honor. We just have Juan Morales on standby.
Okay, so are you gonna bring him to the courtroom or are we gonna put him back on Zoom?
Yeah, we can take him up there, Your Honor. We're here.
Okay, but yeah, the Zoom will stay open for the court reporter and any other staffers, so. Any other defendants that we need to talk to? We didn't finish talking about Nancy Medina.
Nancy Medina, Your Honor, and one other one, it's only two. Jamie Lee Esquivel on page 7.
Your Honor, those two were reset. Agreement by Attorney Ernest Garza.
Yeah, he's ready.
Okay.
Okay, and who else? Morales? No, we took care of, that's the one we're gonna hear right now.
He's done. He's done?
Right.
Nomás dijo ahorita lo vemos con el juez. Esa fue la última palabra que dijo mi abogado.
Mr. Vasquez, are you coming to the 406?
Miss Agüero will be going to the court.
Señor Rutilo.
Hello.
Sí, señor Rutilo.
Dígame, señor.
Sí, su abogado me avisó que tienen un acuerdo y lo van a formalizar el día 24 de este mes.
Sí, señor.
Ok, entonces nos vemos el día 24.
Muchas gracias, señor. Que Dios me lo bendiga.
Que le vaya bien.
Gracias.
All right, I think that does it then. We just got to do the hearing.
Yes, Judge. I'm gonna go ahead and open another laptop, Judge, that we're needing to use here in the courtroom. If you can just accept it as soon as I sign in before you come up.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Okay,
Judge. Let
and
me go turn it on.
we're in recess for 10 minutes.
Yeah, let me go turn it on, Judge.
All right.
Your Honor, that's all I have. May I be excused?
No, you have to stick around, Raquel. So,
Your Honor, may we also be excused from the defenders for 351st?
oh, yes, anybody that doesn't have any business in the 406 is free to go.
Thank you,
Thank you, Honor.
Judge.
Can I stay on Zoom?
Yes, you can stay on, Valerie.
Thank you.
Your Honor, as far as probation, can we stay on Zoom as well, or would you like us to report in person?
Whatever's easier for you all. You're all welcome to stay on Zoom, but you're more than welcome to show up live.
Okay, thank you.
Sometimes it's easier. I prefer live, but we didn't plan it for that.
I know that one of the officers, Your Honor, was subpoenaed, so I know he's going in person. But I think it'll be easier for Zoom.
If you're all the orders that I have to sign. Wait, because you're a co-host, I can go upstairs and you can admit the computer.
Yeah, I can. Let me log in so I can admit.
Oh, you're done. Yeah, hold on. Oh, this is Marco. That's why he wanted me to. Yeah, I have to wait. No, ahí está.
Judge?
Yes.
Ms. Calderon wants to tell probation something.
Yeah, they can go ahead and stay via Zoom, Your Honor. I have my witness here from probation in person.
You have to do this on host.
Ms. Cordova, you can stay there on Zoom. Mr.
Cruz
is here.
Okay, so I'll stay on Zoom then. Thank you.
Okay, I'll be upstairs in about 5 minutes.
Thank you, Judge. We open the back door, or you're gonna come in through the front?
I guess I'll go through the back door.
Yes, sir, I'll open it.
I'm agreeing to.
Is he gonna be there alone?
Speak directly into the microphone. You ready, Ms. Moran?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Morales. Yeah, it's all right. All right, let me call the case. We're back on the record. The court calls 2018 CRC 180D4, the state of Texas versus Juan Ricardo Morales. Announcements for the attorneys for the record, please.
Yes, Your Honor, Chris Calderon from the state ready to proceed on the hearing.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Silverio Martinez, the defendant, and the defense is ready to proceed.
Okay. I'll give you two minutes for a quick opening if you want. Ms. Calderon, Mr. Martinez, or
Yes, Your Honor, I just forgot. I believe the defense will be stipulating to condition 1.
That's correct, Your Honor. It's a plea of true on condition number on the first violation and not true on the others.
And for the record, the first violation is the subsequent charge, which occurred in April 19th.
I'm sorry, can you speak up, please? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yes, ma'am. And just for the record, the violation of condition 1 is the subsequent charge, which occurred on April 19, 2021, which defendant was convicted of transport, move, attempted to transport, move, conspire to transport, and move such alien within the United States by means of transportation.
was that a federal charge?
Yes, Your Honor, that was a federal charge.
And so the defense is stipulating to violation of condition number 1, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the state going to proceed on the other conditions as well, or?
Yes, Your Honor, we're proceeding on all the other violations.
Okay.
And we will be waiving the opening statement.
Mr. Martinez, you want to say anything, or?
No, Your Honor, I'll reserve.
Okay. So Ms. Calderon, will you call your first witness, please?
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, the state calls probation officer Garcia.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cruz.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Can you please raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Calderon, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Cruz, can you please state your complete name for the record?
My name is Gabriel Antonio Cruz.
And where are you employed?
I am employed at the Community Supervision and Corrections Department.
And how long have you been employed with?
I have been employed with the Community Supervision a little over 1 year and 4 months.
And what are your duties?
My duties as a Community Supervision Officer primarily consist of supervising the clients on my caseload, basically by ensuring that they're following their conditions or that they're completing their conditions. This includes regular drug testing, ensuring that they're reporting monthly for scheduled appointments, as well as referring them to resources they might need, such as scan, border region, and as well as to their classes that they might have to complete.
Okay. And do you know why you're here?
Yes, I'm here to testify.
Okay. And do you know for what case number?
Yes, it's under case number 2018 CRC 000-180D4, count 1 and count 2.
And what is the defendant's name on the case?
Defendant's name is Juan Ricardo Morales.
And do you see the defendant in court?
Yes, I do.
And can you please identify him with the piece of clothing?
Yes, he's sitting right next to Mr. Silverio Martinez in the orange jail uniform.
Okay. Let the record reflect the witness has identified the defendant.
So noted.
So, Mr. Cruz, on this case, what date was the defendant placed on probation?
He was placed on probation on June 26th of 2020.
Okay. And how long is his probation period?
It's for 10 years.
And when was this motion to revoke filed?
The motion to revoke was filed on June 10, 2021.
And has there been any amendments to that motion to revoke?
No, there hasn't.
Now, Mr. Cruz, you are a custodian of records for the probation office, correct?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Now I'm showing you was previously marked as exhibit 2 and 3. Can you tell me what, well, you recognize them?
Yes, I do recognize these.
And now, are these records kept in the regular course of business of probation office?
They are.
And is the regular practice to keep these business records in the hands of probation office?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and did an employee from the probation office make these records or transmit this information into these documents?
That's correct.
And was it done at or near the time reasonably soon after the event?
Yes, correct.
And did the person making these records have actual knowledge of the events?
Yes, they do.
And at this time, Your Honor, the state offers the exhibit number 2 and 3. Will all be tendering to the defense counsel for any objections.
No objection, Your Honor. Exhibits 2 and 3 will be admitted.
Now, Mr. Cruz, can you tell the court what state exhibit number? What state exhibit number 3 is?
State exhibit number 3 is the defendant's conditions.
Okay, and were these signed by the defendant?
Yes, they were signed by the defendant.
Now, I'm gonna walk you through the motion to revoke that was filed. Can you inform the court what was the first condition that the defendant is, the first condition that the defendant violated?
The first condition would be condition number 1.
And what is that?
It is commit no offense against the laws of the state or of any other state of the United States.
And how did the defendant violate this condition?
On or about the 19th day of April 2021 in the county of Webb and state of Texas, the defendant did and there commit the federal offense of transport, move, attempted to transport, move, conspired to transport, and move such alien within the United States by means of transportation or otherwise in furtherance of such violation of law.
And now what is the next violation that the defendant committed?
The next violation would be condition number 2.
Okay, and how did he violate this condition?
He violated this condition by the defendant failed to avoid injurious or vicious habits and abstain from the illegal use of controlled substances, dangerous drugs, or the use of alcoholic beverages, and tested positive on June 30 of 2020 for marijuana, October 6 of 2020 for cocaine, and April 8 of 2021 for cocaine.
And what did probation try to do to get him to assist him with the drug, with him testing positive?
Initially, Mr. Morales was verbally admonished by his officer. This was on October 16th. He was verbally admonished for his cocaine usage, as well as on April 15th of 2021. During this verbal admonishment on April 15, 2021, he was also sanctioned to complete what's called in SAE, which is a substance abuse evaluation to further analyze the defendant's usage to see what may be of help for the defendant.
And was the substance abuse ever conducted?
No, it was not. It was forwarded to the supervisor on April 15th of 2021. However, on April 19th, 2021, he committed the subsequent arrest.
And now, Mr. Cruz, what is the next violation that the defendant committed?
The next violation would be condition number 11.
And what condition is that?
And that is that the defendant failed to pay his court assessed fees towards probation.
And was the defendant making monthly payments?
Yes, he was.
Now, what is the next condition that the defendant violated?
The next condition would be condition number 15.
And how did he violate this condition?
The defendant failed to undergo evaluation and assessment through the mental health caseload and follow through with any recommended treatment. The defendant failed to attend his Board of Regents appointment scheduled on March 1st, 2021 at 8 a.m.
Okay, and how many times had he been referred to Board of Regents?
The defendant was referred to Board of Regents at least twice. First referral being on June 21st. I'm sorry. Yes, June 21st of 2020, and the second one on October 22nd of 2020.
And did he ever make these appointments?
He reports to have made one of the appointments and have Board of Regents services at some point, but he did not follow through with services.
And were you able to confirm that he did have services with Board of Regents?
No.
And did he give any reason as to why he couldn't attend these appointments?
Yes, on March 16th, 2021, he voiced that he had missed his appointment because he had been busy, but would be attending.
And on the day that he said he was turned away from Board of Regents and given another appointment, did he give probation that next appointment date?
No, he did not.
Now, Mr. Cruz, what is the next condition that the defendant violated?
The next condition that he violated was condition number 20.
Okay, and how did the defendant violate this condition?
The defendant failed to complete and attend the DWI repeat offender course within 180 days of sentencing, and the defendant failed to complete and attend the Bridging the Gap course within 90 days of sentencing.
Okay. And now, can you tell the court what state exhibit number 2 is?
Exhibit number 2 are the referrals provided to the defendant for the DWI repeat offender course, as well as for the Bridging the Gap course.
And how many times was he referred to DWI and Bridging the Gap?
He was referred at least twice, his first time being during his orientation on June 30 of 2020, and his second time being on November 19, 2020.
Hey, Mr. Cruz, what is the next condition that the defendant violated?
The next condition violated by the defendant was condition number 23.
And how did he violate this condition?
The defendant failed to participate in the Tacoma program by failing to undergo an evaluation and assessment to determine qualification.
And was this one of the conditions that he pled to?
Yes, it was an original condition.
And now, Your Honor, at this time, offer state exhibit number 1 is a certified copy of the federal judgment. Tender it to defense. For any objection?
No, I've already.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may. State's exhibit
State exhibit number
1
1.
is admitted.
Mr. Cruz, can you inform the court what state exhibit number 1 is?
State exhibit number 1 is the judgment in a criminal case.
And what is the offense on this judgment?
It is conspiracy to transport an undocumented alien within the United States.
And what is the date of offense?
Date of offense is April 19, 2021.
And who is the defendant on this judgment?
Juan Ricardo Morales.
And can you flip to the second page and inform the court how many months Mr. Morales was sentenced to?
He was sentenced to a total of 15 months.
And how many years of supervised was he sentenced to? Is in the next page, Mr. Cruz.
For 3 years.
And Mr. Cruz, what conditions did Mr. Morales actually complete?
So prior to the subsequent arrest, Mr. Morales was reporting monthly for office visits. Aside from this, Mr. Morales did complete the drug offender education program on July 17th of 2020.
And what other reasons did Mr. Morales provide to the probation? What other reasons did defendant give probation as to why he wasn't complying?
As far as with the border region appointment, another reason he gave was, he stated to have reported to border region for.
Wait,
These are business records.
ask the question again.
What other reasons did the defendant provide to the probation
No.
as to?
Overruled.
You can go ahead and answer the question.
He did, at one point, he did voice that he was busy. So he was not able to attend with his border region appointments, but that he would be attending. And on a separate occasion, he voiced that he had reported to border region, but was turned away and was told he was rescheduled for another day.
So did probation make any attempt? So, no, let me frame that question. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez.
Mr. Cruz. Are you the officer in charge of this, supervising this particular defendant?
Yes, I am.
And the notes that you read from there, were those inputted by you?
They were, the green sheet timeline was inputted by me. I got the case notes off of his previous officer.
Which was?
The officer in question is Mr. Rene Iruegas.
And what previous, when did he leave off and you start?
He left around April of 2022, and that's when I took over the caseload.
Oh, okay. You would agree with me, however, that when you took over the caseload, including Mr. Morales's case, he was no longer under supervision.
Correct, he was in custody.
Okay. So you don't have any personal knowledge as to the context of any of the comments made in those reports, correct?
As far as with the drug test go, I do have his drug test records with me. As well as from the probated judgment that we saw. I know that he hadn't completed his classes because we don't have the certificates with us.
Those are easily ascertainable events. However, when it comes to what he might have said, the reasons for it, which you read off of a report right now, stuff like that, that is what you don't have personal knowledge of.
Correct.
Okay. And you do agree with me that when he was placed on probation on June 26, 2020, we were at the height of COVID, correct?
Yes, correct.
And there were a lot of restrictions on contact and on meetings, correct?
Yes, correct.
And you wouldn't be able to tell the court whether or not he ever mentioned that COVID might have played a part in his inability to attend the classes.
No, I wouldn't.
And I'm assuming that one of the conditions dealing with the fact that he had to attend border region and mental health caseload and stuff like that has to do with the fact that, and tell me if you know, with the fact that Mr. Morales had issues with either drug use or mental illness.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Could you tell us whether the fact that one of the original conditions of probation included attending the mental health caseload or obtaining services, I suppose, from border region of whatever it's called? Could you tell us that that was probably included because he either had a drug issue, a drug use issue, or a mental issue, correct?
Yes.
And is it, or is it not your experience that when people are either addicted to drugs or have a significant drug use problem, some relapses are expected, especially that early in the treatment program?
Well, he did have several relapses throughout his term
Which are
under the first year.
listed in the report. So what I'm asking you is, from your experience, I know you've worked there for a year and 4 months only, but perhaps your training and or that short experience, you may have learned that maybe when people have a drug addiction or a drug issue, early on in the process, some relapses may be expected.
Some relapses do happen, correct?
In fact, that's why he was sanctioned and he was verbally admonished, correct?
Yes, correct.
Now, aside from the drug use violations, we talked about violation number 11, which is failure to pay fees. However, you did testify that prior to his federal arrest, he was in fact making monthly payments.
He had been making payments, not every month, but there had been payments on file.
So there, from your file, you can tell the court that he had been making some honest efforts.
Yes, towards the payments, yes, correct.
Now, and with regard to the, I guess, the DWI repeat offender and the bridging the gap, you said he didn't take the class, but again, you can't tell us because you weren't there at the time personally, why he didn't attend the class.
Correct.
And what you can tell us, however, that he did attend the drug offender education program on July 17, 2020.
Yes, that class has been completed.
And aside from making monthly payments, you did mention that he was, prior to his arrest, reporting monthly.
Yes, he had been reporting monthly. Some of the report dates were by phone call as well due to the COVID situation at that point in time.
I'll pass it away.
Any further redirect?
Yes, Your Honor, just a few questions. Mr. Morales.
Before you proceed, Ms. Calderon, I think I've pieced together the timeline, but I need some clarification here. So he was on probation for the state offense, and then he got convicted or pled out to the federal offense. He did about, what, 13 or 14 months?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was he served with the MTR while he was in federal prison, or he immediately went straight to jail?
Yes, he was served, I'm assuming around the time that he was supposed to be released from federal custody, he was.
So,
served
and you've
with-
been in state custody for the 250 days.
That's correct.
So all these violations would have happened prior to his, I guess, the arrest on the federal charges.
Yes, Your Honor.
No, that's what I tried to clarify is, the subsequent law violation. Prior to that.
But
it
he
was
hasn't been free since he's been released from federal prison.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Okay.
So technically the violations, he still had time to do the classes is what I was trying to hear.
Well, prior to that, no, I kind of get that. But in essence, he hadn't done it since then because he was in federal prison and then
That's correct.
arrested with a capias on the motion to revoke.
That's exactly.
Okay. I'm sorry, Ms. Calderon. I just want to make sure I had the right timeline here, and you may proceed if you have any additional questions.
Yes, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Cruz, what are the requirements to enter into mental health care?
The requirements for the mental health court are that the defendant must already have mental health services open. This could be either with SCAN or border region, or sometimes they have mental health services with both.
And did the defendant have any services with either?
No, he did not.
And why was that? Did he ever go to his appointments? Border region?
So like,
I'm sorry, the answer was nonverbal. Can we have a verbal answer?
can I have the question again, please?
I think the question was why was that? You shook your head about.
There's multiple reasons from what I see in the case.
And so what was one of the reasons?
One of the reasons was, from what I've stated earlier, that the defendant said that he was busy.
Objection
Would be
to speculation.
Well, no,
Business record, yeah.
The reasons for.
well, if it's a statement he made, that's admissible.
It is a statement he made during an office
Oh,
visit on March 16, 2021.
Hold on.
My objection is as to, the question calls for speculation. He asked, what is the reason for that? Not what did he say the reason for that was.
Okay, that says that on those grounds, the question.
I'll
or the-
rephrase.
Yes, rephrase the question.
What did the defendant say was the reason?
Like I stated, he did say during an office visit on March 16, 2021, that he reports to have been busy, but would be attending. And this was already his second border region referral made by his officer at the time.
To the court, did he ever make those appointments?
Not that I have on file.
No more further questions, Your Honor.
If I can add one more thing about that office visit, Your Honor.
No, you cannot. And just so that the timeline is correct, so he was out on probation for 10 months until he, más o menos. So.
So, Your Honor, each time, please, yes, 10 months. He's convicted June,
26.
well, he enters probation June 26th, but yes, and then he gets picked up in April 15, 2021. On June 11, 2021, the MTR is filed.
But he was in federal custody starting in April
Yes.
2021, based on the
So,
testimony.
yes, and just because the exhibit has been admitted, exhibit 1, the judgment, he pled guilty on October 22nd, 2021.
Mr. Cruz, can you hand the exhibits to council so that they can be tendered
Yes,
to the
sir.
court?
And
Oh,
then-
you have,
Yes.
oh, thank you, sorry.
You're fine.
Any other questions, Ms. Calderon or Mr. Martinez?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
I just have one last thing.
So, wait, hold on, is the state resting then?
Was he's
What?
asked.
Oh, he's gonna ask a question, go ahead,
Yes,
I'm sorry, I thought you were gonna call a witness or something, go ahead.
So again, Mr. Cruz, I just want to clear up because you seem to have testified that you know that he didn't seek any of those services prior to March 15, 2021. But is that correct? That's what you testified to, correct?
Like I said, that's not in the file.
Okay, that's my question. So, it's not that you know, it's that it's not in your file. Correct?
Correct.
And, because you were not the supervisor at the time. And, so it would come as a surprise to you if you were to testify that not only did he seek services, but he actually got the services and got prescribed medication for his mental. You would be completely surprised by that.
No, I would not.
Okay, so you see that.
Yes, and he does state in an office visit. If you would like, I could point out the date.
Sure.
So he reports to have began receiving services somewhere around August 24 of 2020 during an office visit. He reports to have been in contact with border region and is currently taking medication prescribed by them. However, on October 15th, 2020, his officer is notified by CSO Hernandez, who overlooks the Tacoma caseload and has closer contact with Border Region, that the defendant does not have an open case with Border Region.
Okay, so according to what you read in that report, there's conflicting information.
How so?
You reported he was obtaining services and medication since August 2020, correct?
Yes, correct.
And then the report goes on to then say that that's actually not true, or at least it's implied that it's not true, because in October, they found out from the Tacoma program
Yes, that
that he
does.
was not receiving, or that he didn't have an account open at Border Region. Is that correct? Is that what you read in that report?
Yes, correct.
And were you able to ascertain what the conflict was?
No.
Did you follow up on whether statement number 1 was true or statement number 2 was true?
No, I did not have the records
You did not pull the record from Border Region.
from Border Region.
So you're basically just telling the court that there's a conflict reported in the report, but which you have absolutely no personal knowledge about.
This is what I have on file. It is possible for the defendant to have had his services open on August 2020, and then for them to be closed around October 2020, if he does not follow frequent contact.
Okay. So that could also account for the conflict.
Yes, correct.
That's all.
Anything further?
Just one question, Your Honor. When a person starts probation, Mr. Cruz, aren't they informed that they must provide documents to probation to keep a record?
Yes, they are.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Is the state resting?
Yes, Your Honor, state rest.
Mr. Martinez, are you going to call any witnesses?
No, Judge, we don't have it.
All right. Any closing, Ms. Calderon?
Yes, Your Honor. I also have rebuttal time or opportunity for.
Oh.
rebuttal.
You're going to rebut your own witness?
No, my.
Oh, you're.
after I close,
I'm sorry.
No.
Oh. Yeah, I'll give you 2 minutes after, I mean, I'm sure both closings are gonna be short. I'll give you some time after, yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm just collecting my thoughts really quick.
And in your excuse, Mr. Cruz, you're welcome to stay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You know, stand up right here.
Just make sure you're close to a microphone. so the
Yeah,
court
Your
recorder-
Honor. If the court reporter, can you hear me?
So far, yes.
Okay. Thank you. May it please the court, Your Honor, we're here today based on a motion to revoke that the state filed. But most importantly, we are brought here today for the charges that the defendant pled to back in June 26, 2020. And the charges that he pled to were manslaughter, aggravated assault causing serious bodily injury, which are both felony 2 counts. He was given an opportunity to be placed on probation, 10 for 10 years. After being on probation for a couple of months, the defendant failed to complete DWI classes, bridging the gap. He failed to report to Border Regions. He tested positive 3 times. And when sanctioned by his probation officer, specifically on April 15, 2021, he then goes and commits an offense April 19, 2021. So as probation is trying to help him on April 15 and informing him that they're gonna refer him to the substance abuse program, he's free to go on April 19, 2021, to go commit this crime, which he's now pleaded guilty to. And it's a federal offense as well. He then gives excuses to probation office, that he cannot go to these meetings or these scheduled appointments because he's too busy. But he's not too busy to commit a crime. I want to read you a bit of what the report states of why we are here. The charges are in front of us, and this is part of the case. This is actually state exhibit number 3 that was admitted at the time that the defendant pled guilty. As to what happened in this case. Ford F-150, which belonged to the defendant, was traveling on the wrong side.
Your Honor, I object as to the relevance of that. We're not here to try the underlying offense. We're here to try a violation of probation.
Well,
Yes, Your Honor, but he violated conditions on probation while being on probation on this case.
I just think that that's extra prejudicial for the trier of fact, because that's the whole point, is that they're trying to prejudice based on the underlying offense, and that's not what we're here for.
well, and I'm first I'll remind you, this is argument, okay? But the underlying offense is part of the court's record. I'm going to allow it to keep it brief on this point.
Yes,
The
Your Honor.
court has access to the underlying offense.
Yes, Your Honor. Basically, in the underlying offense, Your Honor, the defendant did plead guilty to was that he caused an accident and he tested positive for some drugs while driving. He killed a mother and seriously injured a child that was in the car. And again, the state gave the defendant an opportunity of probation. And he did not take advantage of this. He actually committed another offense. And yes, he has served time for that offense. That doesn't scratch the fact that he was on probation on this case. And he was informed in the initial time when he pled to probation that he couldn't commit new offenses. Mr. Martinez, the defense wants you to see that during COVID, there were times where he could have done things, but because of COVID, it wasn't done. But I might remind the court that back in 2021, when he did commit the smuggling, COVID was still around, but he was still free to go commit this crime. So when the state and the defense gets into negotiations and negotiates the case, we come to an agreement. The defendant knows the consequences of not complying with probation. So he's given a chance to be out in the world and prove himself that he can comply with simple conditions. Being a civil member of society without committing new offenses. He has already presented to the court that he is a danger to the community and that he will keep doing it. And that his reasons are that he's too busy to comply. And if there's no other case, Your Honor, I feel the state strongly feels that for a manslaughter and a SBI, at assault serious bodily injury, the defendant should be revoked to 10 years that he pled to the day that he pled guilty to these charges.
Mr. Martinez?
Oh. Your Honor, I think that the bottom line is this. The state wants to bring the underlying case as the reason for asking for so much time. However, Your Honor, I would remind the court that that case was at its merits, considered by all parties involved, all mitigating, all aggravating, all evidence altogether was taken into account to reach an agreement. I mean, if it was that serious of an offense with that serious evidence against my client and the parties reached a probation offer, for whatever reason that may be that we may not know of, that was taken into account by both parties at the time of that negotiation, that was done. It would be highly improper for us to want to punish him for that. We're not here to punish him for that. That offense, that case took care of that. Whatever the reasons for that probationary sentence was, it's done. Now, the case, what we are here for is for a violation of probation. And I've been trying real hard to understand how in our negotiations, how it is that we can go on the very first offense with these violations to a 10-year offer. A 10 years what they want the full, the max. When even if we were to look for guidance alone to the federal guidelines, they don't sentence people for violations of probation based on what the underlying offense was. They look at only this violation. What did he do in this particular violation? The highest, most egregious type of violation we're looking at, even under the federal system, which is very serious and very harsh, is a grade B violation. Even assuming, and I have for demonstrative purposes, I brought a revocation table if I may show the court. Even if we were to look at the revocation guideline table on a grade B violation, which is what this would be. This would be a subsequent offense punishable by over a year. That would be at most, even if we were to look at the highest criminal category all the way to your right here, you'll see you'll be looking at 27, 28 months custody for that violation, even assuming that he has the highest criminal category. Other than that, it would be less than that. Now, what did he do? He committed that offense. It was a grade B violation under the federal system. It's a violation. Yes, it is. He's admitted to that. He admitted to that in the federal system. He took his punishment, and there it is. While he was on probation, the violations were not that egregious. Other than this subsequent, he was reporting. He was trying to get his drug addiction or drug usage, drug problem under control. And were there some trip ups? There were, as the officer testified, quite expected whenever you have a cocaine addict or a drug addiction. Also, there was mental illness, which I think that since he's been in custody, he's been addressing, and I think that the feds addressed it, and I think the court can address it here as well. What I'm asking the court to consider is not the underlying offense, which was totally and completely considered, and we're not here to second guess why the district attorney's office offered 10 years probation on such an egregious offense, but they did. And we're only here to consider that there was a violation, and the violation is under the federal system a grade B violation. I think it's a violation. Yes, it's a serious violation. He committed another offense, but that's it. And we should punish him for that. Now, what has he gotten since that? He went into custody in April of 2021. He's been in custody all the way to this year after he, I think, completed about 12, 13 months. At which time he got served with a state warrant for this one, and he's still been in custody. It's been around 24 months now. Has he been punished for that subsequent offense? Yes, he has. Should he be revoked in this offense? Well, it's in the court's hands. However, I would suggest that I think the best thing for society and for this particular defendant is that we leave him on supervision. We put him in a system that's going to help him get better with his drug addiction, with his mental illness, address it, partly in custody, partly not, or if the court were to fashion some sort of conditions that would take care of that concern. But I don't think that putting him in prison for 10 years, simply because the underlying offense should have been 10-year prison term, is proper. Because we're not doing the right thing. We're not considering why we're here, which is the violation. Based on this violation, I would ask the court to consider the time that he's already served, which has been over 24 months now. And if the court were to impose even a guidelines sentence under the federal revocation guidelines, a grade B violation somewhere in the vicinity of 12 months to 15 more months. In order to address the issues that he should be addressing. He has 2 children from his prior marriage. He has 2 children from his present marriage. His wife is very, very concerned.
Elements, not in evidence.
Yeah, I know, and this is just argument, just, okay, but.
I
that's fine.
just think that there are things that we should consider, Your Honor, in correcting the behavior, which is what Texas policy is about. We're about correcting behavior, about making society better, not just punishing. And I would suggest to the court, he has in fact been punished quite a bit. And as I suggested, if the court sees fit to add another 12 months, add another 15 months, then so be it. But that is a very high sentence for this particular violation. But nevertheless, his concern and our concern as a society should be to make him a better person. And he's been in there for that long. And I think that now that we're back up and running and everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and there's no more COVID interruptions and there's no more COVID excuses, I think that this is the time that we should give him, or the court should consider giving him, so that he can fix himself and so that everybody can benefit from it, not just put him in jail and let him rot. Which is basically what happens when they go up to Huntsville or wherever it is they're gonna go. And I don't think that's gonna benefit anyone. So I'm asking the court to consider the time that he has served, an extension of probation so that he can continue to be supervised and on a more stringent basis, something that requires more commitment from him, something that requires him to become a better person. If not, he goes back into jail. One violation, Your Honor, I think he deserves, after all this time that he's been in prison, he deserves another chance.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez.
Any support? Really quickly, Your Honor. The state would like to inform Your Honor that if this is what he did in 1 year, what is he gonna do for the rest of the years that he's been going to be on probation, if allowed to continue on probation? Now, let me correct this. There's no such thing as extension. He was given the max of probation, which was 10 years. So we cannot extend them even if we wanted to. The state is simply asking that he gets revoked for the time that he pled to, which was when he pled guilty. He promised to do probation for 10 years in exchange for time of 10 years. That is what he pled guilty to on that day. And within that year, he goes and commits another offense. And the defense wants to come up here and say, he needs help. How can somebody be helped if they don't even try? You heard from the probation officer that he didn't attend these meetings. These are business records. On April 15, 2021, he was sanctioned about his drug use. And then on April 19, he goes and commits his crime of smuggling. It was so easy for him back then, but now after serving, which he's been in jail, prison, not for nothing, he is serving his federal sentence. That is what he was doing. He wasn't there at his own accord. He was serving the sentence which he pled to the federal court. That statement is self-serving, Your Honor. So this defendant has not changed, and he will not change. He's not a good member of society if that's what he did within 1 year. And the reason is that he was too busy. Now he learns after being in jail for 2 years. But that should not be taken into account. What is taken into account is what he did in those few months that he was on probation. I have the federal judgment where he pled guilty to, and he took responsibility, but he's already been convicted for that. But again, that doesn't erase that he was here and pled guilty to manslaughter and aggravated assault with serious bodily injury. So again, the state is asking that in no case before, this is the case that merits for the defendant to be revoked to 10 years. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. let me take care of some of the preliminary findings here so that we can proceed. The party stipulated and the court accepted that the defendant pled true to the violation of condition number 1, and the court so finds. And in addition, Mr. Morales, I think there was sufficient evidence to find that you had violated all the other indicated conditions of your probation, which is, and the court finds that you did violate conditions number 2, 11, 15, 20, and 23. And before I tell you what the punishment is going to be, I want to express to both sides some of my thought process so that you know that I am not ignoring what both sides are telling the court. And the first thing is that Mr. Martinez, the plea that happened back in 2020, that's the deal you made. But I understand what you're telling me. And I am taking that, I'm going to take that into account, that we're not re-prosecuting the underlying deal, but someone lost their lives because of the decisions you make. So part of the probation is not only something that you owe the state and yourself, but a person who's no longer with us. And I guess the court saw fit to give you probation. And the reason we give people probation is to give them an opportunity to set the boat straight, I guess. It's to head in the right direction. And this is one of the hardest things I ever have to do, and I don't enjoy it, because the easy thing for me to do is to say, well, you made a deal. If you violated these conditions, I'm going to give you 10 years. I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to do that. I'm still struggling with what I want to do. You need to understand that potentially I could destroy your life like you did someone else's. But, there has to be justice with some mercy too. And in this short time, I'm trying to gauge what is the best course of action for you, Mr. Morales. Best I can tell, and maybe you can correct me on this, according to what I have in the docket in front of me, he served 250 days subsequent to his federal time.
I don't have the exact numbers, Judge, but somewhere around there. I don't know if it was rhetorical, but I'm not.
I don't have that at the moment, but I can.
Well, I always have an indication on my docket, which means he served an additional 9 months after his federal offense. And Mr. Morales, you need to understand that any of these violations could have subject you to 10 years, because that's the deal you made. But I want to give you an opportunity to correct everything. But I also, have a duty to uphold the orders from the prior court. So are you able to calculate for me, Ms. Calderon?
I can, Your Honor, if I can just be giving a few minutes. See how much he's spending.
272 days, Your Honor.
All right, and I'm ready to proceed. Would you please rise, Mr. Morales? All right, Mr. Morales. Having found that you have violated terms of or found that you have violated some of the conditions, I'm not going to revoke your probation. But I am going to impose a sanction of 300 days and give you credit for time served. So you've got 4 weeks more to serve. And then you'll be placed back on probation with all the conditions. And I'm going to ask the clerks to set you on a status hearing with me to see how you're doing.
Thank you.
Do not disappoint me. I will not be this forgiving or hopeful the next time, and I promise you that. But in these next 4 weeks, you need to think about not only how much your life could have changed, but how much you've affected other people that are not in this courtroom right now. Okay?
Thank you.
When you get out, I want you to make something of your life. Okay, and that doesn't mean make a lot of money. Be a dad to your children and try to become a member. Okay, society, because you won't get this second chance again.
Understood.
All right, and you've got another 7 years left with us. Okay, and you need to understand that even if you just test positive again, you're going to have the prosecutor asking that you do the 10 years that you agreed to. Okay. So that'll be the ruling of the court.
Your Honor, MTR denied.
The motion to revoke is denied.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
And good luck, Mr. Morales.
Your Honor, there a status hearing set?
Oh, well. Do we set it now? It's kind of hard to tell when I'm going to be back doing this, but let's go ahead and what do you have in June?
On the parole docket.
Doesn't Judge Hill have status hearings for? If he doesn't, I mean, I think this one needs to be set. Either one of us.
Gonna be. We can do June 5th. At 9 AM.
June 5th at 9 AM.
Thank you.
Good luck, Mr. Morales. You're adjourned.
Thank you, Judge. May I excuse?
Yes, everyone's excused. So yeah, is Mr. Judge Ernst around?
No, sir, they had DWI court meeting this afternoon and he's still in the courtroom with that. So, yeah, he's not in his office right now.
Give him my best. And,
I will, I sure will.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So long. Here's exhibits 1, 2, and 3. Is this for me to sign?
Yes, those are today's bonds, Your Honor. From the custody docket.
Oh, good, thank you.
Yes, ma'am, I'll be there. Okay. Unfortunately. No, I'm gonna diet. No, I'm gonna diet.
We're not.
We're not. Everybody else knows who's gonna come with you. Y'all just come pretty with me. Y'all have a good one. Like,
Thank you.
Judge, did you hear Juan Ricardo Morales after all?
Did I what?
Was the case for Juan Ricardo Morales called after all? He was in custody.
I missed the hearing. The rulings. We just never entered.
That wasn't the defendant that was before you right now, was it?
We just finished. We were in here for an hour.
That didn't look like him.
That was Juan Ricardo Morales. Here's the bonds for the.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you all. I'll prove me right, Mr. Martinez.
I know, I just had that thought with him. I said that with him, so.
Takes these very well.
What?
The clerk, this goes under the file, right? The exhibit.
Only exhibits, I don't have any exhibit list.
The court reporter usually gives the clerk an exhibit list, but she's online, so I'm not sure. Huh?
So come down tomorrow so we can go through the auto one.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do it tonight.
no, me neither. The judge is gonna have to, well, he wanted a copy of that document they gave me.
We didn't.
Well, I didn't give him a chance because we just got here and he wanted to go to that. Yeah, I have your original. I'll take it to you tomorrow. What time do you want to meet?
Well, I've got jail in the morning, but I usually have some downtime between 9:30.
And what is it that we're gonna do? We're just gonna,
Well, we have to report the bond modifications.
for who?
There were three for the 406. And 2 from the 341st, but. I mean. Usually, the way I'm doing it now is I'm bringing you down to make sure you know how to do it, so when Judge Hale does it.
Yeah.
You can set it up for him.
Oh, I do the ones for Judge Hale.
You already know how to do that.
Yeah, you already showed me. I mean, I don't mind going downstairs because Raquel needs to learn, right?
Yeah.
She's gonna do hers, I'll do mine. I don't know how they're.
Well,
gonna
yeah,
do it for
and that's,
49.
and the way I like to do it is I put you all on the computer so you can find the case, and if not, then you can input it.
Yeah,
Because I'm my.
yeah, I don't mind doing it for the 406,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, those.
Eh?
Judge, is this your phone here?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Esos te los llevas por abajo, dile a la supervisor, the court reporter was, who got the court reporter, just the 49th, right? For you, that we need to know just because there's gonna be these exhibits that are gonna be floating around.
This is the 341st.
Judge.
Hey, Valerie, you missed the whole hearing?
See you later. Did you like Jen popping in, going like this?
Yeah, I saw that. Tell
She's
her,
coming.
tell her that's the disruption of the court, which is contempt. So action pause hearing. Do you have anything to say before I impose your sanction?
No, I do not.
Yeah.
How are you? Bye. Don't forget me.
Now you're with your favorite judge, Villarreal now.
He's the best of the best judge. No comment. Justice all over.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, but you're not going to put her.
Hmm?